Bird shit. That's interesting. What's going on? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Music's a little loud, huh? You want to join Sirenara? Music's a little loud, huh? You want to join Sirenara? Okay, hold on. Let me. Okay, go ahead and request Sirenara. Whatever your name is. Go ahead and request Sirenara. Whatever your name is. Sirenara. Okay, give me 1 second. I'll bring you on. Okay, give me 1 second. I'll bring you on. Sayonara? It's like sayonara, but spelled wrong. All right, kick us off. Sayonara.
Okay.
Hey there, what's going on?
Nothing.
All right, is porn cheating?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Okay, why is that?
Because if you're in a relationship, right, and you have a boyfriend, right, and you go into porn, you're looking at other guys literally do it to other girls, and you're seeing another guy's dick.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Simple as that, huh?
That's my point. And what's your opinions about it?
I think you laid it out pretty clear. I would agree with you.
Why is your name Porn Coach?
Because I'm a coach. I help people stop watching porn.
Oh.
Are you 18 or over, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, got it. What were you saying?
But like, oh my gosh. Have you had anyone come on this live that think it isn't?
Yes, all the time. Is this your first time finding me?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Well, go ahead and follow me. Stick around. Buckle up. You're in for it tonight, okay?
Okay.
You can come back on later if you want to share, okay?
Right, alright.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, that was funny.
Hello,
Hey there, what's going
brother.
on? What's up?
Hello. Yes,
Hello.
yes. I want to share thoughts.
Okay. About what?
Okay. I tell my dog I have peanut butter. I put on him. He not
Cool story, bro. Cool story, bro. Hey there, what's going on?
Nothing much. How about you?
Not too much. Is porn cheating?
I think it depends on the relationship and how a person defines the relationship.
Okay.
Personally, in my relationship, I don't believe that it's cheating. And I believe that we're human beings who have different needs that not everyone can fulfill. And I think that people need to emotionally mature and realize that. But like I said, I think it's defined by two people who have different expectations. And if that person doesn't meet your expectations, then that's not the relationship for you.
Got it. All right. Are you in a relationship?
I'm actually in a poly relationship.
Oh, okay. So you don't have an expectation then that you're faithful to just your partner, right?
I mean, I have two different partners, and like I said, with
To just
poly
one partner.
relationships, I don't know where you're getting with that. I'm with two different partners.
Right. I'm just clarifying. So that would mean that you don't have an expectation that you're faithful to just one partner. That's what poly means, right?
Right.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. All right. So how does that work? Are you a woman? Do you use that word? Female?
Yeah, I'm a woman, and
Got
I'm
it.
in a relationship with 2 men.
2 men. Got it. How long's that been going on for?
On and off for about 2 years.
I have so many questions if you're up for them.
Yeah, hold on one sec.
All right.
I'm in.
We're talking about porn on the internet.
Anyways, yeah, go ahead with your questions.
So, all right. One time, I have a friend of mine who is poly. He had a wife and a girlfriend. And I'm like, how does that work? And he's like, well, we all sleep in the same bed. And he sleeps in the middle, and the two of them are on the outside. And I'm like, bro, that sounds awful. That sounds awful. I don't even like sleeping in my own bed sometimes because it's uncomfortable. Or like if there's like extra pillow on the bed, it makes me uncomfortable. So I'm not asking you what your sleeping arrangement is. However, what I am curious about is you said you've been in this relationship for about 2 years, on and off. Are you guys married? Is there like a primary partner in the relationship? How does it work?
I am married with a boyfriend. And poly relationships, there's not one way to be in a poly relationship. It's very much about how you define the relationship. You can be with 2 different people, and then you can close the relationship off with just those 2 people, and you are just a throuple that's dedicated. Or you can be, I mean, there's so many different ways that you can be in a poly relationship. Personally, with us, we are closed off emotionally, but we are available sexually.
Wait, who's closed off emotionally?
All 3 of us.
What does that mean?
So basically, we're in an emotional and mental relationship, but we explore our sexual needs elsewhere if needed.
Okay, you're closed off emotionally between the 3 of you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Why are you married?
I've been with the same partner for about 15 years with my husband, and we decided that we needed to spice things up.
Got it. Does he like dudes?
No.
Oh, okay. So the throuple part sexually is for you to explore with another man?
I mean, they're both allowed to explore. All 3 of us are allowed to explore sexually outside the relationship.
Oh. Got it. Okay.
You're not the only one to give me the same reaction.
Well, I mean, it's like you said, every poly relationship's different, so you can't assume that anyone is like the previous one.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. All right. So you for sure don't think porn is cheating because you don't have an expectation that you're faithful just to one partner, right?
Mm-mm. No. And honestly, even when my relationship was closed, even then, it's like porn is porn. He watches porn, I watch his porn, as long as we're comfortable with each other's sexuality and we feel we're comfortable emotionally and trusting each other and communicating, there's nothing wrong with porn.
Got it. All right. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
All right. Take care. All right. What's up, chat? Calum. Who else is here? Callie. What are some names that look familiar? Bree. That's a familiar name, I think. Destiny. That's a familiar one. Who else? Mel. Pam. Is that a familiar one? I've seen Pam before. Who else? Tap the screen, people. Tap the screen. 10,000 likes. Let's go. I'm helping too. Last night was so fun. We're just getting this thing going. All right, let's bring in another guest. Tap the screen. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Teresa's new. Rain, I remember you. Yes. Hello, Rain. Hey there. What's going on? Hello. Teresa? Teresa? Cosmo Girl? Are you there? Hello?
Hello?
Hi there.
Hi.
Hi. You're on TikTok talking about porn.
I know. I've literally never been live anywhere on anything.
Okay, well, to what do we owe the pleasure?
Well, I don't think porn is cheating when you both like watching it.
Okay, got it. Are you 18 or over?
Yes, I'm 37.
Okay. So do you watch porn?
I do, yeah.
Got it. Make him purr. What's going on? So why do you watch porn?
Well, me and my husband both watch porn. I mean, we don't watch it every day or anything like that. We both watch it when we want to. We're in a relationship where basically, do you know what a hot wife is?
Do I know what a hot wife is?
Yes.
Is that a wife that's hot?
Yes, but no. So it's basically where I'm
Can't
in a
believe I got that one
relationship.
wrong.
So basically, I'm in a relationship where I can be with other people if I want to be. He's allowing me to be. Like, I don't go behind his back. I don't cheat on him. It's a mutual thing. He comes and is watching or taking part when I go be with other men. It's kind of like an open relationship, but not.
Sounds pretty open to me.
Yes, but he is not open on his side. And I might be open and go be with other men, but I don't do it very often.
Got it. So you get to explore with other people, but he doesn't.
Right. And that was his idea, his choosing for me to do that.
It was his idea. He wanted you to go be with other men.
Yes. And we've been together for 10 years in February, married for 2.
Got it. Did you want to do that?
Well, I had never thought about it until he brought the idea to me, and it works for us. And again, it's not something I do every day, every month. It's something we do occasionally. It's fun.
And he watches?
Yes.
Okay.
You've never heard about this type of relationship, eh? It's
Well, the
becoming
previous-
very popular among
No,
a
the
lot of
previous
people.
person I talked to literally was also poly. I mean, it's poly. You're just in a poly relationship. That's what it is.
Well, no. Okay, yes, but Polly is very different from my relationship because Polly, she like is married but she also has a boyfriend and maybe that boyfriend lives with them as well. That's not all like what I have. Not at all. Like I might have a guy or two that we go hang out with, play with, have fun, but it's very, very different from Polly.
It sounds very, very similar with the exception of you just don't put a
It's
label on it.
Similar, yes. Similar, but different in my opinion.
Hot wifing is a sexual kink that is distinct from poly, which is an entire relationship structure. While both follow under the umbrella of, quote, ethical non-monogamy, their fundamental focus and dynamics differ significantly.
Yes.
The husband often derives arousal or satisfaction from his wife's sexual experiences with others, which is called compersion. This can involve him watching or participating in the wife's sexual encounters with other men. Is he there? Can we get him on?
No, he's in bed. We gotta work tomorrow. I just haven't gone to bed yet.
Got it. All right. So why'd you come on here?
I don't know. I was just scrolling on TikTok and you've come up many, many times on my TikTok and I don't know. I just watched for a minute and I don't know. I just became engaged.
Okay.
Maybe one day me and my husband can join.
Great. Love to have you. All right. Thanks for
But
sharing.
why do you think?
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
Why?
why do I-
But why do you think porn is cheating, though?
Why do I
I
think
have
porn is
watched
cheating?
a lot of stuff on yours, but it's been a minute.
I think if you're in a committed monogamous relationship, which you are not, I think if you're in a committed monogamous relationship with another person and you've said something like, I love you, only you, mind, body, and soul, till death do us part, if you deviate from that, whether it's using a person on a screen or otherwise, you have gone against the agreement and you're therefore cheating.
Yeah, but what
So-
if you both agree to it though?
Then that would not apply to what I just said, because I said if you're in a committed monogamous relationship with another
fair.
person, right?
Yes.
So then the question is, why the poly thing, right? Which, I mean, I don't know. I can't answer that question. I'm curious what would compel somebody who's married to one woman to want to watch her be with another dude. I have so many
Because
questions.
It's fun. It's
Yeah,
fun.
I don't-
It's exploring. It's spicing things up. Are you married?
Yeah, I'm married.
And like, do you have some sort of like religious, like, are you Christian or like anything like that?
I follow Jesus. You can call that Christian if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess to each their own, right? Everyone has their opinion on things. Like, again, we're not watching porn every day or even really every month or every 2 months, even. It's once in a while, spice things up kind of thing. But I think if it's something you both agree and you both like doing, then it's not cheating.
So you're set. Well, yeah, sure. I won't disagree with you there. You're 37 years old, and you said you've been married
Yeah.
for 10 or 15 years or something like that. And then this poly thing started about 2 years ago. Is that right?
Okay, no. So we've been together for 10 years in February. We've been married for 2 years, but we started this probably 3 years ago.
Got it. Do you honestly like it? Like you're married to one man and you enjoy being with other dudes while your husband watches?
Yes, for
What is
sure.
it?
Because
What's
I know,
enjoyable about that for you?
because I get to experience bigger penises, I guess. I get to experience having
What is?
fun
Wait,
being
hold on,
with
hold
other
on,
men.
hold on. So what does that say about your husband's eggplant?
It doesn't say anything if he agrees upon it and knows what he cannot all give me.
Do you realize what
It's
you
not that
just said?
funny.
Do you realize what
I
you
know
just
what
said?
I just said, and again, he's the one that brought it up to me. I did not bring it up to him.
So he was like, "Hey, I think you need to experience a bigger eggplant." I'm sorry. Interesting.
What's wrong with that? There's lots of women that
I
wanna
didn't say
be
there's
with a
anything wrong
bigger
with it.
eggplant.
There's just you're in Canada. I don't know what it's like in Canada, but at least here in America, there's like a whole stigma around eggplant size.
Yes, but in America and in Canada, there's a whole stigma of, again, if you do more research into hot wifing and all that type of stuff, it's becoming more common. Like, a lot of people go to sex clubs. There's a whole bunch of stuff.
I don't think it's becoming more common.
Oh, but I think it is. Because we've researched the whole thing to our lifestyle is you need to have trust, you need to have communication.
Google
If there is
Google
no
AI
communication,
Google AI overview says it appears hot wifing is becoming more common as part of a wider cultural trend toward exploring ethically non-monogamous relationships. While statistics are hard to measure accurately, experts and media have observed an increase in openness surrounding non-monogamous lifestyles.
and again, it's not a lifestyle that everyone can do. It, again, comes down to trust, to communication, and doing what that relationship wants to do.
Yeah, got it. All right, well, thank you for sharing. Very interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right, take care.
Have a good night.
You too. All right, W's in the chat for all the guests who have already come and will come. And guys, let's go. Let's get to 5,000 likes, okay? I'm gonna help out on my other phone. Ready? Everybody tap the screen. If you don't follow me, also give me a follow right up there. Tap, tap, tap. Let's go. Tap, tap, tap. I'm tapping. While I tap, I'll bring on another guest. Monique. Hey there, what's going on?
Hi. So it's so funny that I just came across this live. I've never even been a part of a live before. But the caption really got my attention because it's so relevant to what just kind of went down in my life recently.
Okay, what happened?
Well, something that was really important to me and getting in a relationship was the first question I asked is, the stage of dating and then going into an official relationship. My question to him was, what changes in your mind from dating to being in a relationship outside of the exclusivity? What are the expectations that surround that relationship? And, one of the things I had said is, porn is not acceptable. Because that's just not something that I'm comfortable with. You can call it insecurities, you can call it faithfulness, you can call it whatever you want. But for me, it's a desensitizing, toxic thing that you can warp your mind on. And I think that when you are building a foundation and when you date with intent, the intent being marriage, you need to have that level of trust. And that was an agreed upon thing. And then it was discovered just by accident that, he had been watching porn, and it turned into such a big argument. And, I just didn't know. I didn't know how to explain it. When you think you're on the same page as something, and watching porn is not something you can actually keep tabs on. It's a trust thing, right? I mean, when you're dating, you don't live together, you just have to trust that the person is not going to be doing it. And then you find out that they are, then it's a huge trust thing, in my opinion. So I think porn is cheating. If you want to just get down to it, I think that however you want to view it, I think that it is, I think it's a discussion people should have with partners from the very beginning and not under the assumption.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. So you had the discussion explicitly about porn when you were kind of at the DTR, right? Like, are we dating? Are we
Correct,
not
yeah.
dating? What are we doing
Yeah.
here? Had you talked about it with that partner before?
No, I think because at the point that we talked about it, we were going from and I am so bad on lingo, it's so bad, but we were going from the dating stage into the official stage, right? And then discussing the expectations. And I mean, had porn been brought up before? Sure, casually. And I had made comments like, I'm not okay with this, even coming from someone who I have personally watched porn in the past. But I feel like when you are in a relationship, like that is just a no-go zone, and I wanted to lay that out. It wasn't an expectation just on him, but also something I was vowing to also not do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and essentially he didn't agree to it.
No, he did.
He did, but
agree to it.
then he didn't uphold it.
Uphold, correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, got it. That sucks.
So, well, it does, but it's okay because I think that, well, one, it helped us expand on a deeper conversation and finding that out. He was like, I really didn't know that it would be that big of a deal to you. And then expressing to him why it is, it just ended up spiraling into a bigger, deeper conversation because people are flawed. People are not perfect. People are going to have a mistake or whatever. But I've also have friends that porn becomes an addiction, and what's an addiction? In my definition, an addiction is anything that you cannot say no to at any given moment. So, you have to be able to have that within yourself to look at something and say no to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got it. So you're still with him?
Not as of actually this morning. No,
Oh,
no. We had ended up having fundamental just differences, which I mean, no hate, no shade, no crash out over this, but it just, that's to me, it's like, how do you have justification on being upset about something that's never discussed? And that's something that I learned a long time ago is, well, know your morals, know your values. Like, are you okay with it? And then set the expectation up front.
was it Jays are going to the World Series? Is that official? True? Sorry.
No, 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 totally fine. I know I'm scrolling those comments.
Wow, they did win. That's crazy. I don't even care that much, but Toronto, LA World Series. You can't get any farther apart than that. So, okay, so you broke up this morning. Was it over the porn issue or was it over something else?
The porn issue was like kind of like a one thing added to it. Then the other thing that added to it was, we're getting deep diving into this. I can totally just dive into that. But I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of like self-healing journey and stuff that I've gone on that I've like tried to like open and communicate and everything. And so for him, he, I know how to label things through healing, but like there's a lot of codependency there. There's a lot of like, I feel like if I'm not spending 100% of my time with him, then he doesn't get the affirmation like from a relationship that he needs. And I don't think that's healthy. Like I think that they're like, especially early on, like let's just build on something. Let's not go balls in immediately, you know?
Yeah, balls in.
I mean, is that yeah, we're talking about porn. There we go, balls in. Here's a porn metaphor.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, so I jokingly sometimes say like you should have the porn conversation like within the first 5 minutes of meeting the person. So you had it a little late, in my opinion, when you're getting to the DTR. I'm just joking, but kind of not really.
No, but actually, maybe I did. Maybe the conversation should have been like more upfront. I mean, I talk about marriage and kids first, you know, so maybe porn needs to be on that list too.
Well, you
Just
talk
to-
about marriage and kids, but you don't talk about if you're going to masturbate while watching strangers have sex.
Well, I've never heard porn described that graphically before like that. I feel like that's, but no, that's exactly what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
No, I know, but no one ever puts porn in that term, like in those layman terms like that. That's actually incredible.
Really? That's
Yeah,
I
no.
love how novel that is to people when they're like, well, if you say it like that, I'm like, that's what it is.
It was almost like a poetic way of describing porn, honestly.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I mean, that is important. There's a lot of like morals and values and things like that. But yeah, I think porn has become just, and again, like I've watched porn. Like I think there is like this stigma that only guys watch porn. Like there are like a plethora of women, probably more so, or as many as men, or there are women watching porn. It's not just specific
It's
to men.
statistically less prevalent, but yes, there are a lot of women who watch pornography as well.
You know, and I found myself in previous relationships on the opposite end of the spectrum where, yes, like we were like, let's spice it up. Let's do this together. Let's do that together. And at the end of the day, it was really just masking like the other issues that were going on. Like that wasn't the solution to what we needed. At the end of the day, there was other like dreams or ambitions from the other person, you know, of wanting to be with other people. So maybe
your
there's,
partner wanted that.
oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. The problem with pornography, and this is why my recommendation for people would be no pornography is good, because it affects what you desire. What we look at affects what we desire. And so there's a reason why, I'm not saying this is the case for your former partner, but why did he want to do that? Why did he want to do all these other things? Because pornography, in order to keep it interesting, you have to keep on escalating into other behavior. And then you think that you actually want that in real life. It warps your brain into thinking that that's what you desire.
100%. So my next question to you is like for parents that are raising children, you know, how do you broach that conversation? Because, you know, talk about a hard conversation to have. You like there's access to that everywhere. So how do you broach that conversation and like what age? I mean, You don't want to overwhelm with like the birds and the bees conversation, but then also you want to show the sacredness of what that is and not to have them they're tarnished on their viewpoint.
Yeah. Yeah, great question. There's 2 books that I recommend. One is called Good Pictures, Bad Pictures Junior, which is targeted towards kids ages 3 to 7 to talk about pornography. The other one is Good Pictures, Bad Pictures, the regular version, which is targeted towards kids age 7 to 11 to talk about pornography. The average age of exposure to pornography is 13. That's the average age.
Wow.
Like basically actually, no, I take that back. It's not the average age. Most kids are exposed by 13, like 90% or something. So if you don't have the conversation before 13 about pornography and sex, somebody on the internet
Very
will.
negligent. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like it's like very
Yeah.
negligent.
So I was reading I have a 4-year-old. I was reading the junior version to my kids the other day, and my 4-year-old, it's a cute book. Basically what it teaches is, if, private parts are private for a reason, we should keep our private parts private. Like, it's not that hard. Most people should read these books, no matter how old you are.
100%.
So private parts should be private. Nobody should see your private parts, and you shouldn't see anybody else's private parts. And if you do, it gives a 3-step process. And they say we call these pictures that show private parts pornography. If you see pornography, first, turn away, cover your eyes and turn away. Run. So it's turn away, run to an adult, and tell. Turn, run, tell. So you turn away and cover your eyes, run in the other direction towards an adult or towards your parent, and tell them what happened. So
Right.
so it's so cute now. My 3-year-old, I'll be like, hey buddy, what do you do if you see pornography? He goes, turn, run, tell. Turn, run, tell. And I'm like, good job.
Like stop, drop, and roll. Like
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a
Right
fire
now,
drill for pornography.
and I'm not making this up, right? It sounds cheesy, but now my 4-year-old knows if and when he sees that, that's what he should do. That's what he's supposed to do, right? Now, if he does or not, I don't know. Ask me in 10 years, right? Yeah, Marcy, he ain't doing that at age 16. I don't know, to be determined, right? I'm not naive enough to think he's not going to see pornography, right? But if and when he does, I have a 10-year-old boy as well, I want to be there for the conversation. I don't want them to
Right.
do what most people do, myself included, and is to hide it, keep it in secret, and let it warp my brain and ruin my view of sexuality.
Right. But it's also a lot of pressure too as parents. I mean, with just making sure the security settings are like where like it's not easily accessible on like tablets or phones or whatever, but it's not foolproof. I mean, sending kids to school, what they're exposed to outside of our reach and our realm, like how we protect them, it's overwhelming. And then I have my family comes from Germany, and so Europeans are like a little bit more expressive, like it's not, but it's a different vibe of just, it's more of a freedom, it's not an exposure, it's not a, does that make sense?
Totally.
It's
yeah.
a culture, it's a culture.
Yeah. Yeah. It's. I mean, I'm not from Europe, so, but yes, I do believe it is different over there.
Yeah, 100%.
With regard to how
100%.
people view bodies, right? I mean, take certain beaches, for example. I mean, people in
Well-
the U.S. wouldn't know what to do with that.
Either way, the principle of respecting yourself and respecting others is still valid. I mean, there is no blurred line culturally at all on that. So,
Yeah.
no, I was just curious your viewpoint on that. And then again, just like I think this is a great live to be having. I think it's a great thing to it's a great question to pose for people, honestly, because I did not know that was a conversation that should be had earlier on, and I didn't know that that was I don't know, it's just as much of a struggle and conversation with people. I think
Yeah.
it's more easy to like pose, let's watch it together, as to say, hey, no, I'm actually not okay with this.
Yeah. No, it's like, no, let's not, because I actually value people and I treat them with dignity, honor, and respect. And it wouldn't be
there was
honoring other people to do that.
There was a documentary, and I can't remember what it was called, but I think it was on Netflix, and it was actually going behind the scenes of like porn stars and like what they actually go through.
Yeah.
And just, if you nobody's enjoying themselves, number one. Like the fantasy, the reality of anything that has to do with porn, like when you watch this documentary and you see them like get off set and like they are just sick. Like they are not doing well. Like it really, like
Mm-hmm.
you would not be able to watch porn again after watching this documentary because the women are just not. And I don't know about the men because most of their faces aren't even showing, but the women are not. It's not a pleasurable experience by
Yeah.
any means.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so
There's
then you
a,
have sex trafficking that you add in there, and then you're like, oh my gosh, like, are these people victims? Like, it's just, it's not good. What are you supporting by watching it?
mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks
So,
for sharing.
absolutely, thank you.
All right. Take care. Tap the screen, people. Like and share. Give me a follow if you don't follow me already. Follow button's up there somewhere. By the way, I'm a coach. I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching for men who are wanting to be free of pornography or sexual addiction or other unwanted sexual behavior, as well as women who are going through the devastation of partner betrayal trauma, the trauma that a partner experiences when they discover a betrayal, such as a partner who is addicted to pornography. You can go to the link and schedule a call with me, link in my bio, for $1 if you want to have a chat about my groups and my coaching or any other resources I might be able to point you to. And that's actually going to go back up to $50 by the end of this week. So if you want to schedule a call, if you've been on the fence, do it now. I just have, when it's $1, I have too many people who schedule a call and then don't show up. So it'll go back up to 50, which is where I used to have it. All right, next guest. Define addiction. Something you're doing that you can't stop that's negatively impacting your life. Or not negatively impacting your, no, that's negatively impacting your life, whether you're willing to admit it or not. Hey there, what's going on?
Hello.
Have we
I'm
talked
back
before?
again. We have, yes.
Oh, did we talk the other day?
Would have been a couple of weeks ago now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Did you fully change your mind yet?
You remember me now.
Yes, I do. You were like 70% of the way there.
Well, girl's still got to work, hasn't she? So.
All right. Well, how's it going?
To be quite honest with you, this week was quite hard. For anyone that obviously don't know, I do work in the industry. And I found this week really hard because I've got two regulars, as we call them, and they're married. And they're getting it's gone from them having the cheeky Tommy Tank every now and then, do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
To now they're like love bombing me. They're like saying the L word and getting really they're getting a bit obsessed now, and it's quite mentally draining. I think that people lose reality when they're in that mind frame, when they're looking at porn and when they're paying for services, shall we say. They lose grip of reality. And one man was on about leaving his bloody wife.
Are you surprised by this?
I am surprised. I mean, I'm surprised with the fact that they've gave me this one guy gave me all his credentials. Like, I know his name, surname, where he lives. I know his wife's name. It was like he was ultimately begging me to look him up on socials. And like he was getting off on that. And I don't really know what he wants from me, because it's gone from just being fun and, you know, cam girl client relationship to he's asked me not to have a boyfriend. Like, what? there's other sides to it. Like, was it Monique just said about that porn stars don't enjoy it? No, I don't think that could be said for every porn star. I do know quite a lot of girls in that industry. I'm not in that side of the industry, and they do enjoy it. So, but I think when clients get that, they get reality distorted. It's like, wow, it's getting a bit strange, and I'm not really sure what to do about that. Like, there's no one really to talk to, and I don't know what that's doing to his personal life. Like, I'm thinking, surely his wife has seen a shift in him. Do you know what I mean by a shift? Like,
Yeah, I got it. What just went through my head is I now am playing the role of like a support person for a cam girl who's dealing with the reality of all this. Like maybe that's a new group I start, but I don't want to support you in doing more of this. But all right, so how are you not surprised by this? You are essentially the same as an affair partner. You're offering sexual services to married men, and you're surprised that they're now like really getting attracted to you, and you're getting more detail into how their lives are actually falling apart. How is this a surprise to you?
Because it's never occurred to me before, and it's never happened that I'm aware of to this extent, put it that way. I mean, I've had clients before get a little bit too attached, but this one guy in particular this last week, and it's really made my mood go really low. Like I've had to kind of stay off cam. I feel like he's watching too much. I feel like he's waiting in the wings. And I can't help but think, see, I'm now thinking like you, because I can't help but think, what impact is this having on his family life?
Yeah. Well,
What is that? There must be a silent knock-on effect. His wife must be picking up on stuff. His children must be they're like in their
Totally.
late teens. He
Yeah.
must be acting differently. I mean, he's secretly calling me like at 3 a.m. and it's just weird. It's like, what do you want? And he's like, oh, I just want to hear your voice. It's like, bloody hell. Are we in a relationship?
As far as he's concerned, you are. It's called a
It
parasocial
gets
relationship.
beyond, I think I do agree with it gets beyond just looking at it and pleasuring yourself to,
Well-
I think, especially men, I don't know about women, because I don't think women get too attached to porn. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think men get very attached emotionally to it. And it's only just kind of dawned on me the last week or two that, wow, he's made up a relationship in his head.
Mm-hmm.
To ask me not to have a boyfriend is a very strange request. Go on, you want to say something? You're thinking something, aren't you?
Well, I can. I don't need to say anything. I think you already know what you're doing, and I appreciate you coming back and the conversation we had last time too. Genuinely, I think you already, or maybe it was our conversation where you were introduced to a conscious awareness of how you're participating in keeping somebody stuck and getting him further away from finding wholeness in his life.
It's definitely, since our conversation, I have become more aware, and it's definitely played on my mind. And it went from like getting the usual clients to then kind of realizing the ones that latch on a little bit too much. And it's like, I've never flipped it and thought, what is this doing to the people around you, to your wife, to your girlfriend, to your loved ones?
Yeah. So, and that's a great perspective to have. What is this doing to other people, right? The simplest analogy is, do you have kids? I can't remember. I think you do.
Yes, boy and a girl.
Yeah, and how old are they?
Absolutely. My son is going to be 9 and literally next Sunday.
Okay, great. So you have a 9-year-old. If you're a good mom, you wouldn't just let him eat as much candy as he wanted, right?
No. Yeah.
Because you know that that's bad for him.
Yeah.
Right? But if it was up to him, he probably would eat as much candy as he wanted, right?
He'd push the boundaries,
yeah. I have a 10-year-old as well. I mean, if it was up to him, if it was up to me, I would eat as much candy as I wanted, right? But I know that that's not good, and you know it's not good for your kid, so you're going to do the most loving thing you can for your kid and say, look, buddy, this candy is not good for you, so let's not eat candy.
Am I the candy?
You're the candy. And
I
you're
might change my username.
and you're giving these men the candy that is I'm not going to say it is destroying them because something was going on in their life that got them to that place in the first place, right? So I'm
I
not
would
saying
say
you're,
so.
I'm not saying you're responsible, but you are certainly fueling
Even the addiction, I
an
think.
addiction, loneliness, misery in their life, despair, right? And that's why I don't know if you have any faith orientation, but the Bible says, beware of the prostitute because their lips are sweeter than honey. Their lips are sweeter than honey.
Really? That's in the Bible.
What that means is they know
I know what
exactly,
it means.
they know exactly how to lure men in and keep them stuck and wanting to come back for more.
I know. I feel bad. Like I feel like I'm a Catholic. I'm a Catholic upbringing girl, and I feel like I need to go to confession, but I don't know how the priest would take it.
Okay, well, if you were to do that, what would you confess?
Well, it depends if I went to my local priest or one that don't know me. I don't know how I'd word it, to be honest. It's been years since I've done it. I don't know how I'd word it. I guess I feel now, I've always thought, well, they're using me, they're getting what they deserve. And now I feel like I'm using them. So I'm starting to feel quite a lot of guilt. And I don't like it. Like my mental health dipped massively this week. Like I had to take
Once you talk to me, your mental health dipped.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, yeah,
But you're welcome,
Find it-
because what actually happened is
made
you're
me think.
what I would say is you're actually tapping into a broader range of emotions and feelings and compassion and empathy, and that's not bad. I wouldn't say that's your mental health dipping. I would say that's your compassion and empathy for other people increasing.
I've never felt guilt before, and then talking to you, I'm just like, oh my God, my son, like, what are you doing? Sort your life out.
Oh, I love it. W's in the chat
Actively
for
looking
her.
at new jobs and everything, and
Good.
going back studying, and
Yeah,
all
but
sorts. It's
but
like,
think about it. Two things can be true, right? Two things can be true. You're using them and they're using you. But the question is this the best way to spend your life? Is this your best and highest use to sell your body to lonely men on the internet?
massively no. I wouldn't push it on anyone. I wouldn't tell anyone to do it. There's no way I'd want my daughter doing this.
Yeah, totally.
It's a
So the-
very degrading job in a way, to be quite
Yeah.
honest with you.
So, and like we probably talked about it before, there's so much more available for you. There's so much more available for you to create goodness in the world. And I'm not saying you don't do that, right? There's many aspects of your life.
I
right?
create something, but
Well, you do create goodness in some areas. My opinion would be with what you're doing with camming, that isn't creating goodness in the world.
no. I mean, I agree. I totally do agree, because it's like, it's funny because it's like, I'm with this agency, so I've become really close friends with a few of the other cam girls, and it turns out that a lot of my regs and her, like we share the same regulars, the same clients, and they're feeding, like, you get some men that are literally genuinely think they're in love with you, and then you get some that are just feeding the same lines to each cam girl, and they're married and in relationships, and they're just copy and pasting to any cam girl that takes their pick that night. And I don't know where it's definitely come since talking to you, I tell you, because all of a sudden I'm thinking about the wives and I'm feeling really bad. And I never
you
felt
should.
that before.
You should. That means you're
Gave me a conscience.
No, I gave you a conscience. I've never heard that before. No, look, I didn't give you a conscience. I helped you become awakened to what you're actually doing. And look, think about the wives. Think about the children. Think about the potential future wives of these people. And most importantly, think about your future. Think about your
Yeah.
children.
Oh God, I swear I do not want my kids ever knowing what I do. That's top secret. Like, there's no way I'd ever tell them what I do, and I hope to God they never find out.
Well, here's the
But-
thing is your life and your story can be redeemed and it can be used for something good. I'm not saying you have to tell your kids, but do not discount the fact that your story could be used in a powerful way. And with your children knowing to speak out against what you're doing. That could be
Yeah.
the path for you where you speak out against camming. And there's a woman I follow. We're trying to do a podcast. She used to be a producer for camming or pornography or something like that. And she now has a career speaking out against it because she knows the industry intimately. Right? I used to say the same thing about my pornography use and my infidelity. I would never tell anybody that. Well, look, here I am. I talk about it every day, publicly on the internet.
I think I've always said that, number one, that like the police should go undercover on camming sites, because my God, the stuff would they find. Some of the men are so depraved, and the things that they want to talk to you about and they think that they can open up to you about is so depraved. It's so upsetting. Like, it literally would shock you, especially, obviously I'm not going to say certain words, but especially if you have children, because it's like, nah, I just have to put the phone down. Like, I'm like, that's just beyond my mind. I can't ever
Yeah.
get my head around it. And I think I've always said that there should be some kind of TV show, documentary made about it. I know there was one on Netflix about cam girls here in the UK, but it was it was a good few years ago and it's quite dated. But that it's so, it boggles my mind, the things men ask for, the things that turns them on. Where have they thought this up? Where? How did they even, like, I've got a good imagination on me, but some of the things I'm like, wow. And when you said that most kids, probably especially boys, have been exposed to porn by 13, that's young minds. They're looking at this and they're getting fed this. And this is why they end up grown-ass men with these warped, weird ideas. Because it's in their brains. Because their brain isn't fully functioned yet at 13. And honestly, I don't know. You've really opened my eyes.
Yeah. Well, you're exactly right. I mean, look, all the things that you hear, and you probably hear the craziest stuff that people can think up.
Oh, dying.
Right? It started somewhere, right? At some point in their life, they had a decision point, and whether it was intentional or not, they went down a certain path. And how do I know this? Because I did that too, right? Starting to poison your brain, and the male brain isn't fully developed until 26 years old. When you start to put 26 years old, when you start to put all this, I'll say it's poison in your brain from a very young age, imagine the effects of that 10 years later, 20 years later, 30 years later, 40 years later, 50 years later.
It's literally, it's like a drug, I think. I think the addiction, it grips, and I do think men are addicted. I do think some men get way addicted to it.
Yeah. So here's the thing for you. If you, and I'm going to keep saying this stuff to you because it's going to be harder for you to keep doing this with a clear conscience. If you could, anytime you're camming with somebody, compassionately think of them as another human being where something happened to an innocent young little boy that set the trajectory of their life on the wrong direction. You get to choose. Are you going to contribute to their misery, or could you be a beacon of hope for them?
I mean, I know what you're saying. I mean, currently at the moment, coming up to Christmas, I do need the money. So, but
but look at what you just said. Look at what you just said. Don't miss that. You're saying you can be bought. I have a price to throw my morals, to throw my integrity out the window.
stop it. Oh, you always make.
I'm sorry. Look, it's true. I get it. You know, I have compassion for you. Okay, I get it. You got 2 kids. You're a single mom, I think, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to pretend like I know the answer for you, or to pretend like it's easy to get out of that situation. Okay, but just know, you're saying me making money is more important than me contributing to other people being miserable and driving them further into addiction and contributing to ruining their families.
I tell you what now, this, like, since talking to you and this one guy over the last 2 weeks who's got really obsessed. I looked his wife up and she's absolutely beautiful and she's a lovely looking woman. Oh my God, the guilt I felt when I looked up her Instagram. Oh, and his daughter, she goes drama school, she's gorgeous. I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? What have I got into?
Yeah.
It's like, it's just weird. And
Hey, listen to this. I'll offer you a referral program. Any man you send me and I start working with them, I'll give you like 50% of the income.
oh, believe me, there's plenty of men. Jesus Christ. It boggles my mind. Because before that, I've never seen that attachment from them before. Although maybe it was there, maybe it was happening and I didn't realise it. But after talking to you, I'm now like, wow, I mean, I'm more aware of my surroundings now and what's happening and how their shift changes from client to in their head a relationship. It's like,
Well, because you now have an awareness that there's a human being on the other side of it.
yeah, I never thought of them as a human being before. It was
Yeah.
just money in the bank.
Yeah.
And I have tried. I have tried. Like, there's been times when I'm on cam and I've just tried to just talk and, but
Yeah, but it's never going to work. It will never work
No.
because the whole thing is the whole
it's not
arrangement.
going to work when you sat there in lingerie and then
Well, that too. Right, but it's not going to work because they're there under the pretense that they're going to get some sort of sexual or relational outlet that is born in infidelity. Right? So it will never work.
I tell you now, I feel so sorry for the wives and the girlfriends. It's really got to me, especially the last week. Because I just think, and I feel sorry for them as well, because they must be et up with guilt. The man himself must be et up with guilt.
Oh, for sure. They're deep in guilt and shame, but they don't see a path out of it. Right? So they keep coming to you in order to get a dopamine hit to make him, to who knows what they're doing, to get a dopamine hit to make him feel better for a minute, but they're deeply lonely, they're deeply sad. Like I probably told you the saying, every man who knocks on the door of a brothel is actually seeking for God. That's how the saying goes.
You did say that last time.
Yeah, and I'll say God is love. They're actually seeking for love.
Well, I mean, to be quite honest with you, some of the shit some of them say, I don't think they're seeking love. Like, some of it is warped. It's beyond, they need sectioning.
Yeah. I mean, beneath it somewhere, there's a desire for love.
And it does make me think, like, what happened to them, especially like when you think about the fact that kids are introduced to porn so young, and it does make me think, what the hell happened to you? Like, what made you think that that's a normal thing to think, let alone utter out loud?
Yeah.
But ultimately, still doing the job at the moment. We shall see.
Yeah.
But you are right. I do agree with what you're saying. I do agree with the majority of the comments. Like, I still don't know if I think porn is cheating though. Like, just watching a porno, the odd porn here and there. And how do you monitor that? Like, how do you trust someone? Like Monique said about the early stages of going into a relationship. Well, you can't really monitor that, can you? You could, like, you're not the mother of that person. You can't say, have you been watching porn today? Do you know what I mean?
You can.
Can you?
Why couldn't you?
Abuse?
Why couldn't you?
Controlling abuse?
Well, think about it. If you're in a committed monogamous relationship, meaning I am committed to you, I made
into that stage, though.
I made a vow to you. Yeah, but I also think it's, in my opinion, I think it's implied, at least in the West, right? If we are entering into a committed relationship, and maybe it doesn't mean that we've officially said the DTR, right? But that, like, we are boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever.
DTR.
Define the relationship. It's a term.
Oh.
Yeah, that's like, hey, we've actually had a talk about what this is. I would say that for most people, there is an expectation of monogamy once you enter into a committed relationship. And monogamy meaning I'm committing myself to you and only you. Mono, one. Mono is one. Gami means, I don't know what gami means. Person? I don't know what it means. What does monogamy mean? Monogamy. Root words. Mono meaning one, and gamos meaning marriage or union. It literally means single year marriage or having only one spouse or partner at a time. So one union.
Does
So-
that mean physically?
Great question. I think it means everything. One union. I am uniting myself to this person. Physically, emotionally, sexually. I'm not going to focus on another person. I'm not going to lust after somebody else. I'm not going to sexually objectify somebody else because I have one union, a mono union.
Because there was one, I assume he's a man, in the comments when Monique was talking, and he said, "Oh, porn isn't cheating because you're not physically not cheating." And I was like, I kind of get what you're saying, but I do believe in mentally cheating. I do think it's a thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Look, the questions I asked, I can't remember if I asked these to you, but if a man solicits nude photos of a woman while they're married, and if the man solicits nude photos of someone who's not their wife, would that be cheating?
What do you mean solicit?
Asks for. If a man asks for nude photos from a woman who's not their wife, would that be cheating?
Yes.
Obviously, right?
Yes.
Okay. So therefore, yes, cheating doesn't have to be physical. There's physical cheating, there's emotional cheating.
But the difference is he asking a woman for nudes and then just
Right.
putting some porn on. He's not
Yeah.
asking, the porn's just there anyway.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He's requesting nude photos or videos from another woman. The literal word, when you click a link on a website or tap on a link, technically that's called a request. I used to be a web developer. It's called a request, an HTTP request, a hypertext transfer protocol request,
If you go on Pornhub,
right?
it'd be like,
So
well,
you're literally, technically, when you go on the internet to look at porn, you are requesting porn. You are requesting nude photos or videos, nude imagery from another person who's not your wife.
God, you make me feel well dirty.
No, I don't make you feel dirty. What you do
I am
makes you feel
dirty.
dirty. I didn't say you
No,
are.
no.
It's what you did.
No, I'm joking.
So,
But the way you word things, it's like, God, you are so right. Damn.
well, how many times are you going to tell me I'm right before you do something different?
New year, new start.
New year. Is that a promise? Is that a commitment?
Will be. I'll come back again and we'll see. Because I just randomly popped up on the live and I was like, oh God, this guy's great. We had a really good debate last time. And you
Now you're
always get
talking-
me thinking.
Now you're talking about a new career.
Talk about going back to uni and all sorts. What have you done to me? These
Yeah.
men are gonna hate you.
Or, well, but are you worth it? Are you worth a better life?
Do you know what? You asked me that last time, and I got a bit emotional because I didn't think I was. But in the last 2 weeks, do you know what? I actually do think I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they are too. Like, I think everyone deserves better than that. Because it's a bit scummy, really, when you think about it. It's all a bit
Mm-hmm.
cloak and dagger, creeping around, late hours. It's when I was chatting to one of my cam friends, and she was just, the way she described it was ugh. And she just kept going ugh. And I was like, do you know what? I understand what you mean by ugh, because it is.
Yeah. 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 Would you be willing to do like an interview, like where I interview you and we both have our cameras on. You have to be fully clothed though, for the record, wearing like a sweatshirt or
What,
something.
now tonight?
Not tonight. No. Sometime.
No, because I was thinking I've got my fake tan on at the moment.
No. Yeah. Like if we were to schedule it, would you be willing to do that?
Absolutely, yeah. And I will be fully clothed. Don't
Yeah. You will be. Trust me.
I won't be in underwear.
Can I DM you
I'm a
to
normal
schedule
girl,
that?
really. I'm not always walking around like a.
No, I got it. But I'm looking forward to 2026 for you, and you start a new career, and I think that you can actually help bring awareness to this industry.
That's what I want. I want to actually go down the psychology route to it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to delve a little bit more into it. Like, there's a woman on here. Oh Christ, what's her name? She's called Rebecca. I can't remember. She's bish bash bosh. She does that. Any UK people in the chat will know who I'm on about. And her dream job was a like relationship sexual counselor kind of thing, therapist. And she just said it's not talked about enough in relationships. And I think she's right. Like the openness and talking about it and being like, I've had these thoughts or you know, everyone's just making out that they're these perfect people that never do anything. And then everyone's like living separate lives. No one's actually talking. Not that I can talk because I'm not in a relationship and I don't care to be, but it's interesting.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to set that up. I mean, I think it'd be interesting content, and you can and you can. I love how open you are with having the conversation. So.
I was very
that.
nervous, like the first time we done this, like the first time I entered your live, because I sat back for probably a good hour listening to people, and the majority of people are there like, you know, yeah, porn stars are this, they're that, and I'm like, oh god, do I do this live? Do I hit the request button?
Yeah, well,
but
you did it.
Everyone was so lovely.
Thank you for the hat. Well, stick around, okay? I'm going to move on to the next guest, okay?
I will do. Thank you again.
All right, you got it. Take care.
Bye.
Hey there, what's going on?
Not much.
Have we talked before?
No,
No? Okay. All right. Are you 18 or over?
I'm 23.
Okay. All right. Is porn cheating?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you think that?
Well, I've been SA'd when I was 8 years old by a family member,
Okay.
and I was introduced with it at like 6 to 7 years old by my dad that was doing it while he was married to my mom. And I've been doing it ever since that I was introduced to it. And it's kind of ruined relationships for me and getting married, and I just can't. I want to stop.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, man. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. How big of an issue is it in your life?
It's took over. I started doing it like really heavy the last 10 years of my life. So from like 2014 to now.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually got fired from a job over it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like you got caught, or it was just distracting you so you
Yeah.
couldn't perform?
I got caught. Caught.
Yeah. And sorry, you're engaged to get married now?
No, I want to get married, but like, some of the things that I do, wouldn't, would be bringing back trauma and stuff. And
Got it. Okay, I thought you said
Things
you
that I
were
saw with
getting
my
married, but
family.
you're wanting to get married at some point.
yeah.
Got it. Okay. Well, tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you do now?
I don't work a job because after I got fired from that other job, I lead to alcohol, and I started drinking on the job and was late to work, and I just lost my job in August. And uh, you know, kind of like the whole town knew what I got fired for at the job I had got fired for getting caught
Mm-hmm.
because it was in a small town. Kind of led to depression, and I started drinking, and uh, I pushed a lot of good people away, meaning women, over this. Uh,
Mm-hmm. Do you live with your parents or something?
I was in foster care from 8 to 21 years old.
Okay,
Now I'm living with my foster parents again.
got it. Okay.
And I was also essayed by a friend of my dad's that was also my Boy Scout leader.
Mm-hmm.
And the other essay was my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And on my mom's side, that's actually gone on more than like 3 generations.
Have you said you're in foster care? Have you done some work around these things that have happened in your life, like, with therapy or counseling?
Yeah, I've been through counseling, and I tell them, and they don't ever do anything about it. One of the things that I know that runs in my family is hypersexuality. They were always into swine water parties and stuff with different people, and I think that's one of the things that led to the molestation of the family.
Mm-hmm. The what parties did you say?
Swine water parties,
Oh, wait, what?
like where you have more than one person in a
Swinger?
group. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Okay, all right.
And I was brought up around that when both my mom and dad were married. They would take us with them to their house, or those people would come over to our house.
Okay.
My mom got arrested, and she only went to prison for 10 years. She was supposed to get 36. The guy, he didn't even get arrested for what he did to me. He only got 8 years in prison for what he did to his girlfriend's kids.
Mm-hmm. Man, who do you have in your life that kind of supports you through this stuff?
Not really anybody. I really, my foster parents, they know about it, and I've talked to counselors, and, I was pushed to the side. I was always on medicine and to compress it, and none of the things that I was ever dealt with, that I was put through, was ever dealt with. I was always just on prescription medicine,
Mm-hmm.
heavy prescription medicine.
Mm-hmm.
With being on all those heavy prescription medicines, it probably destroyed like how my dopamine and serotonin and all that functions.
Yeah.
Because I was on Adderall from like when I was still living with my mom and dad.
Well, yeah, and pornography
And
warps your
one of the
brain
things
as
that,
well.
yeah, for sure. And I'll be 24 next year, and another thing it does is ruins people on how they spend their money and use it foolishly. And I got in debt over it for spending money foolishly.
Mm-hmm.
But when all this stuff was going on with my mom and dad, or with me and my mom and stuff, actually did this stuff to my sister, and it kind of made her, it pushed her away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, man, you got a lot of hard circumstances in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm all about self help, but I just haven't really. I've been looking into all kinds of different porn helping coaches and stuff, and I just don't know who to trust. I want somebody I can trust that was willing to help me defeat this demon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, um, that's very wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would encourage you to seek help, right? I know you said you've tried some therapists, maybe keep trying therapists. Somebody who specializes in all the stuff that you've experienced, SA, foster care, whatever abandonment there is with your parents. I'm a coach. There's a lot of coaches out there who also have porn recovery programs. My opinion, you're probably going to need a smattering of different modalities that are going to help you through this. Some good one-on-one work and some good group work and some education about the topic. Probably some sort of faith community where you can really be around people and be vulnerable with people.
You think you could send me some connections or links to some groups?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Dina actually just put it there. Celebrate Recovery is an in-person, it's a faith-based, kind of like a faith-based 12-step program. You can Google that, Celebrate Recovery. And if you live in or around a large metro area, you should be able to find one. You can go to the link in my bio and go to the resources page. I have some books and other things on there. If you want to schedule a call with me, I'd be happy to have a call with you, which will cost you $1. And, I can just hear more about you and your story and maybe have some clearer recommendations. Yeah, I'd love to chat, man. I mean, there's a lot of questions I'd like to ask you that I don't want to ask here on live. But I think there's a lot to unpack.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. What are you thinking right now?
Yeah, I'll talk to you some more. I've been in your chat a few times, so listening in and stuff, and just a couple days ago, I cried myself and talked to God and said just some things about some of the people that I pushed away. I have to admit, I'm good with the talking to women, but this has kind of put an edge on me and I've just kept running from from relationships and kept pushing and if it wasn't for some of the girls I started talking to when I was living with my mom and dad, going to foster home, I probably would have never had like high value friends, and that's what led me to the point. I came across this woman that I was working with that almost felt like almost was going to put me down the same path where both my mom and dad met. My dad was a lot older and going through the same stuff that I'm doing now, and they get married and he still does it, and it ruined his brain where he didn't want to work and always complaining, and now he just lives with my sister and she has a little kid, and I try to contact her and kind of tell her that he's deceitful. He don't tell the whole truth. He only tries to make her feel sorry for him and blame everything that happened on my mom, which a lot of the things he knew about that were going on.
Yeah. Well, you've got a story, man. And I think that the true sustainable way to really get freedom from this so that you can live your life without being shackled by the bondage of pornography and whatever else is there, is to explore your story and make sense of your story.
I'll have to.
Yeah. Go ahead.
One of the things that I like, one of the porns I watch is like stepmom or even like stepsister.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been a few times I've kind of watched gay porn, and I don't see that as a ethical way to live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, there's a reason why. The porn that we watch is not random.
For sure.
So check out Celebrate Recovery, man. Look at the resources I have in my bio and schedule a call if you'd like to chat, okay?
Okay.
All right, man. Thanks for sharing.
You too.
W's in the chat for all our guests. Dude, it's so hot in here. Excuse me. Krista, what's up? Kayla, what's up? Yeah, that guy was brave. That's for sure. That's for sure. Hit us with an unpopular opinion. All right, let me think. I'm reading this new book, The Sex Talk You Never Got, and it's made me think of a lot of unpopular opinions. Let me think about it. Has he gone too far, or can he come back from it? Nobody's ever gone too far. There's always hope. People are horrendous. Austin, how do I navigate my partner relapsing? He was almost 2 years clean, but relapsed 2 months ago. Sorry to hear that, Destiny. Just ask, what is he doing in his recovery? How do you navigate? I mean, you got to have a conversation about it. What happened? That's the first question I would ask if somebody who has any sobriety is what happened? What was going on? Were you stressed, depressed, anxious, lonely, whatever? And why was pornography an available tool for you? How do I stop feeling like I'm the problem again? Join one of my groups. That'll help. Austin, I mean when my husband said that he thought he was a pee and sex addict. Emlo, did you mean to request? I see you here in the request box. I'll bring you on here in a second. Ruby and James are back. I'm going to go get some water. I'll be right back. Hold on. I thought of an unpopular opinion, Krista. Hold on. Krista, I thought of an unpopular opinion. You ready? Ready? Unpopular opinion. At least with the guests I've had on tonight's live. Monogamy works better than non-monogamy. That's my unpopular opinion. Like and share, people. Let's go. Emlo, how's it going?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
I guess I'm just curious. Like, I was listening to that woman earlier, and what is a cam girl? Is that a camera girl?
Yeah.
Oh, so strictly you cheat? Well, I guess that's by definition.
Well, a cam girl.
When my husband said, when I learned from my husband that he said he thinks at one time he was porn addicted and sexually addicted. And I said, what? And he said, I said, well, that's not just something you get over, right? Am I wrong?
That you don't just get over a porn or sex addiction?
Yeah. I mean, without help.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay. So then I'm thinking about the woman that thinks it's okay to be like there for people like my husband that I wasn't aware of. And I'm like, why does she only want that for herself? I'm missing something. I'm just missing something. Because when I asked my husband, is porn cheating? And he said, yes, I think it is. And I'm like, why have I not ever thought about watching other people do this? And he had no answer. I don't know. I'm confused. That's why, you know what? Me coming up, I am so disappointed in humanity sometimes that I'm just like, what the hell? I have never looked at another man and wanted, like, oh, he's going to take place of the person that I said before God that, and let's dismiss religion, but man, it pisses me off because you're sitting here raising children and holding down the fort. You don't even know that these guys are doing this shit. And it's not just men. I understand it's across the board, but damn, what am I missing here? Because now that I'm going through a divorce after 46 years, I'm like, who in the heck do you ever trust again? I mean, my guy, I met him when I was 15 years old, pups. We were pups. And he's traveled for the last 25 years. I have no idea what he was doing. Now I know. What is it that moving forward, what do I expect in a man? Because I don't trust anybody anymore because it's not It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me if he would have come forward and said, hey, I'm interested in someone else. It would have hurt just as bad. It would have hurt just as bad. But to hear it from other people and then to have friends that knew it was going on, and you thought they were all your friends also. I don't know. Does this make any sense to men out there? Please, men and women and people that say this to one another, damn it, stick by your word. And if you can't, then be big enough to say, I can't. I can't. I don't understand porn.
No.
But I've listened to you for years now. And I hate what it did to me. I hate what it did to me because it's you question. I don't even know how to say this to my children. And I have 3 amazing children. I don't even know how to explain it to them, to say, wait a minute, I thought we had an open relationship. I thought we talked about everything. Austin, we talked about everything. And they all jumped on the bandwagon. And he smeared me. And with my past and the way that I grew up, the loss that I've had in my life, I've said this and I will say this till the day I die. It's easier. It is easier. Death is easier than living through this. Because what is real in your life when the person that vowed better for worse, richer for poorer, sickness and in health, till death do us part. Twice I did this with the same man. And you know what? What's that old adage? Everybody makes mistakes, but then it becomes a pattern.
Yeah.
And then when your own husband says, well, I'm going to fess up. I'm kind of addicted to porn and sex.
All right. So Emlo, thanks for sharing. We've talked before.
Yes.
You've been following me for a while.
Yes.
Are you guys divorced yet, or do you still?
2 weeks we are.
Okay. Sorry.
It's okay. Well, it's not okay, but
not
it's
okay.
got to be okay, right?
You're gonna be okay. And you have to find what it is that you live for after this.
Well, all right. Hey, listen, I didn't tune in here for you to have all the answers for me. I'm tuning in just to listen to men try to explain to me.
Yeah, I'm not trying to give you answers. I don't have all the answers. I don't have any answers.
I know, but you have more than. I don't know. Maybe that's why I was attracted to. Not attracted. That's the wrong word, but maybe that's why I landed on your TikTok. Is because here's a guy that's being honest.
Yeah.
And I just want to understand from a man's perspective. And it doesn't have to be just a man. it can be a woman also. Like, what happens in a person's world that they'll just say, all right, I'll do this for other people. And I don't get it. I don't
Yeah.
get it. I don't get it.
Yeah,
but
well-
I don't have to get it.
Well, you might not know the answer for what happened in your relationship. Okay. Unfortunately. Should you be able to know all the answers? Probably. But here you are. Here you are. Right? And this season of life is going to be very difficult. I mean, you're grieving. You are right smack dab in the middle of grief.
It's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrible
Yeah.
to look through. It's the most horrible thing I've ever gone through.
Mm.
And I hate what it's done to me, but it's also, if I can say to your chat and to you, it's horrible, but yet it's like saying goodbye to who you used to be. And then trying to find out, well, who am I?
Yeah. And that's the question that you get to answer. Who are you?
Well, I just want to say to you, from the moment that I came into your lives, that it has felt welcoming. And it's also a hard thing to address. Is it's not just one-sided. It's holy shit, you got to address yourself.
Yes. 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 You got to address yourself.
Yeah. So I'm going to sign off, but I want to say thank you so very much. I just bought a new book, and I would say to anyone that's listening, it's Unfold Your Truth or something like that. The book's not in front of me right now because I just got it a couple days ago, but it's where you answer the questions about emotional and so many things, and you do not know how to relate. If you, especially in my case, 46 years, I met my husband when I was 15, so we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say to you in your chat, I want to thank you, and I want to thank your chat, and anyone else that understands that we don't necessarily know how to relate, because a lot of times we're distracted by, especially when I was raising my kids, and now I'm all by myself, and I'm like, what was real and what was not real?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the hardest thing for me. The hardest thing for me is every night I say goodnight to him. And for me, that is like reflecting on, well, what is it exactly that you miss, Mickey? What do you miss? And you know what? I do the pros and cons. And I'm like, damn, this dude has been selfish and greedy and narcissistic and blah, blah, blah. But there's something in me back in the day, a long time ago, that said, well, you're what would I call myself? I would call myself like, I can save you. I can help you.
Yeah, you're trying to save him.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
save your complex.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Austin. I
Yeah.
think you have, I think you're doing what you're supposed to be doing right now. And you know what? Anybody out there, do this. Just say, we can put all of ourselves in one big bubble. But for all of the people that don't understand all of this stuff, we're not supposed to. But we can be kind to one another, and we can be understanding that this is a journey. I've never been on a journey like this ever in my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. Can I just offer you one thing, Emlo?
Yes.
You said something like you don't know if you can trust. I don't know if it was just men, but anybody again.
Yeah. Well, I did say that.
Yeah, and I would say that
Oh, I trust people. I'm a very much a people person, but I told my husband, and he stopped dead in his tracks. And I said, you never walked with me. You walked in front of me or behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, what do you mean? And I said, think about that.
Mm-hmm.
He walked in front of me to see who was looking at him. He walked behind me to see if somebody was looking at me. But not with me.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't get it. But that's the part, Austin, that I don't want anymore, is
Yeah.
trying to figure out why he was who he was.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to untangle 46 years of one person.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people in your chat are going to go, well, she's old. Hell yes, I'm old, but I hung in there. And I've only loved one person. Can you? I know, well, no, I don't know this, but maybe you do, that when men are having affairs and stuff like that, they say things like, they tell other women that they love them. Well, I've never said that to another man. I've never said that to another man. And I remember saying to him, I wish I tried so hard to fall in love with somebody else. He divorced me twice. This is my second divorce with the same man. I was willing, for the first time around, second chances. Well, there's mistakes, and then there's a pattern. Okay? Anyway, I've gone on too much, but the people in the chat and for you, do not ever think that you don't make a difference, because I've had people that do what you do and think that they don't. Well, you do. You really do. And it might not be profound at first, but inch by inch, we make changes. And it has helped me so much, and I thank you.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing, Emlo. Man, I can hear it in your voice. I'm sorry you're going through that, and it's coming to the end here with that relationship. But ask yourself that question. I forgot what the question was you said earlier. Who am I? Who am I?
Yeah.
That's the question for you.
Well,
And who-
I
and
will
who do you
share
trust?
this with you.
Yeah.
That I will share this with you that through all my losses earlier in my life, my mother died when I know I've told you this before, but my mother died when I was 11 years old, and we had 9 kids in our family.
Mm.
And she gave me enough to set within me that, stand tall, be aware of your surroundings, and so on and so forth. But also, the new book that I just got, one of the first questions was, what do you fear the most? And I remember marking abandonment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thanks
guys.
for sharing, Emlo.
Yeah. You're
All right,
welcome.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
W's in the chat for Emlo. Long-time guest here. Thanks for sharing. All right, Squirtle, I'm going to bring you up. Hey, what's going on? Good. Are you 18 or over?
Yes, I'm 26.
All right, I can barely hear you. It sounds like your AirPods are in the toilet or something.
Sorry, is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, I had my phone on my keyboard. Sorry about that.
All right.
Also, I just want to say, Amlo, I'm sorry. That really sucks going through all that. So big shout out to Emlo, and everybody just give her some love right now. But yeah, so can you give me like your thoughts on this on corn? Because
Well,
you're against it, right?
First I need to ask you,
Okay.
why are you spamming the chat? You're begging to come up here, and I asked you to stop, and you kept doing it.
Oh, I honestly didn't see that. My apologies.
Like, what did you want me to do? She's sitting here pouring her life out crying, and you just want me to stop and let you on?
Okay, I'm sorry, dude. Have a good night.
Okay,
Milo.
look,
sorry.
I'm happy to talk to you, but bro, it's not helpful. Okay? All right, so
Okay.
what's your question?
What's your thoughts on are you against it?
It's not about being for or against.
Is it just like what my personal thoughts are? Because
Well, the question is porn cheating?
in my personal thoughts, it can go either way. The way me and my gal do it, though, we don't think corn is cheating. Now, if it did play a factor in it's taken away intimacy between her and I, then in a way I would consider that cheating because being intimate with each other is very important and healthy for the relationship.
Yeah, well, it does take away
I think.
intimacy. In fact, the more you use porn, the more it adversely affects your sexual life. Research has actually shown that the best way to have less sex and less satisfying sex is to watch porn. Porn simultaneously overloads you with sexual stimulation while also teaching you to only consider your own sexual desires. Porn is so appealing not merely because it is erotic, but also because it lets you create a world where nothing is required of you. Whereas real sex asks you to know and develop your desires while also learning to study, delight, and call forth the desires of another. Therefore, if you want to limit your sexual potential, porn is the fastest route to do so.
Yes, and I can agree. It's corn for sure is 100% really addictive, and it can definitely get you in that mindset where you're not being open with your partner on what you like and and then also you get focused on, like you said, you just get selfish with the act, on only pleasing yourself in the act. So, I don't think me and my gal have been together for about 6 years and we haven't had an issue with it. We've how do I say this, babe? She by the way, she's 24, almost 25 too. She's here with
And
me.
she's there with you?
Yes, sir.
Got it. All right. So how long, you guys been together for 6 or 7 years?
6 years and almost 2 months.
Okay. All right. So why do you guys watch porn?
I guess it's more of me who watches it. She more reads it in her smut books.
All right. Why do you watch porn?
Me, I guess it's in a way, I guess it could in a way it's an addiction. For sure.
Okay. So you watch it
Because
because you're addicted? Is that what you're saying?
in a way, yes. Yeah. I started watching it like when I was 18 and just got addicted to it, and then because I didn't have very much, I guess growing up I wasn't a very social butterfly, so I wasn't very great with the women. So that was like always like a thing I went to, and I guess it's something I've always done, not all the time though. Like me and you have
You don't do it all the time.
me and you have what's a safe word to use?
Like, we're still intimate.
Yeah, we like what you say 2-3 times a week.
Sometimes, yeah.
How do you, hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, say your thoughts and everything, and be honest too. Don't.
All right. So
I don't
how do
really
you,
know what I think about it.
okay. Yeah, Krista, that's for sure. So how do you feel that your partner watches porn?
I mean, I feel like as long as it's not like one of those things of like right after we're intimate, then it doesn't bother me. But if it got to a point where he was only doing that, or it put a hindrance on our intimacy, then yeah, it would be a problem.
All right. Are you guys married or just dating?
Just dating.
Just
Just dating.
Yeah.
All right. Got it. All right. So are you guys monogamous?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. How often do you look at porn, Squirtle?
Honestly, it just depends on what I got going on. On average, I would say maybe once a week.
Okay. Once a week on average.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys are monogamous, or say you're monogamous. But he masturbates while watching strangers have sex.
Okay.
And I'm curious why you use other people for your sexual gratification outside of your relationship.
Honestly, that's a good question. I've never, I guess, really thought about it. I just kind of saw you live and wanted to join and say my personal opinion, but I guess I never really thought about it that way. Like, I get what you're saying, because if I love my gal, right, I should only not only, but like I should only get off to her, right? Especially since we've been together for 6 years.
Sounds pretty good to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought about it that way, to be honest with you.
Same.
Bro. All right. Wow, you guys have all the answers.
I might
Look,
have to
just go ahead.
I will say I've been going to church more recently, and I do know it's unhealthy and whatnot. I guess I've never really thought about it that way, in that sense. I do know I'm pretty sure it's a sin. I'm learning a lot in church as I go, about the ins and outs of all this stuff. Not just what we're talking about, but all this other stuff. But yeah, no, I guess I really never thought about it that way, because I need someone.
I feel like it comes down to like stimulation, like what you need for stimulation.
Well,
Well,
okay,
just
I know
think about it this way. Is it honoring to your partner to seek out sexual gratification from other women?
No, it's not, because now I'm giving another women my satisfactory in a way, not actually giving them that, but I'm giving, instead of, I'm taking that satisfactory away from my gal and giving it to another person.
Yeah. Yeah. So what would be instead of watching pornography, what would be a better orientation to have in your relationship?
What, like, just like something to replace it, like watching movies together, like going on dates or stuff like that.
Yeah, dude, I love it because it's not hard, right?
Yeah, and that's why I like having these conversations with people, is because it like really opens up my eyes and like parts of things that I don't see. Because like if we like, there's like, you can do like deep dives on this stuff. Like I know it's an addiction. The dopamines, or what does it release? It releases some
Dopamine.
kind of
Dopamine.
dopamine. It releases dopamine in the men's brain. I do know that, and it is an addiction.
Think of it as the same kind of addiction for smoking,
Yeah,
because it releases dopamine
it
when you
gives you
smoke.
it gives you a little bit of a high, or I think, or something like that.
Mhm.
Wow.
All right. So you said you started watching it when you were around 18.
18, 19, yeah.
Okay.
Because I wasn't very.
You weren't very what?
Go ahead. I just wasn't very social, so
Okay.
I didn't really. I wasn't very like good with the women, I guess you could per
Yeah.
se.
Well, I believe you, and that's pretty late, especially for someone your age, to not like, you never saw it until you were 18.
No, I did see it, but I wasn't really. I was worried about like school and sports, and I just, I
You didn't really get hooked on it
think,
until you were about 18.
yes, because and the whole sense of that was because, and it might stimulate from when I was younger. I was in a car accident with my father, because of him drinking and driving, and that was when I was 4. So I had to basically reset. I had to relearn how to walk, talk, and everything up to the age of 4. So I don't know if that caused me to like slow down my my aging process of my brain. You get what I'm saying? Like I was
Yeah.
more focused on like being a kid, doing like hanging out with friends, playing video games, going to the gym, school, sports, and all that. So I didn't
Hmm.
really have time for
Yeah.
that stuff.
Dang. Yeah. You were just trying to like figure out how to be. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
and another thing is, the gym has always been like my thing to go to for like counseling. Almost, it helps me just with whatnot, and with going to church. It's like, hey, you need to first put. I don't know what your beliefs are on, but God is always first, no matter what. If you put God first, He will make things work for you, the way they need to work. But I like I said, I've been learning a little bit more about the corn addiction, on how it releases dopamine in the brain for the men. That's why I was watching it probably 2 or 3 times a week, even though like before. This is gonna be bad to say, but before me and my gal were doing stuff, I'd watch it, and then like 3 or 4 hours before she got home from work, and then she'd get home, and then her and I would still do stuff. But yeah, no, you kind of changed my mind, because now I'm giving attention to other women, or I'm giving them the satisfactory of me pleasing myself, and not giving my gal that.
Awesome. I love that. I love your openness.
And I'm not just saying that either, too.
I got
Just
it.
kind
Yeah.
of agree with you.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's don't believe everything you think, right? Don't believe
No, no, no,
everything you
no, no.
think. I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
no,
like
there's
that.
like,
We think that we
yeah.
believe things so dearly and close to our heart, but when we actually challenge our beliefs, we can orient to them differently. So
Yeah, and you got to definitely be open-minded about it too. You can't just be so like your opinion is the only opinion that matters and you're always right.
hmm
Because like I was thinking like, oh, you know, I didn't think it was cheating, but now that you put it the way you put it, because the way I was putting it, right, is I'm still doing stuff with my gal, right? I'm still one thing about me is because I've never been really good with women, is I make sure or try to make sure that I uh, get my girl off before I get myself off, whether that's foreplay or whatever. Um, recently, I'm not gonna lie, I've been kind of lacking in that field though, but we've been not very intimate with each other, not because of the corn addiction. It's birth control reasons and it messing up her menstrual cycle, and I just don't. Yeah, without getting too TMI, I can't.
I think
do
we're
it
well
when it-
beyond the point of 2 TMI, man. Which
Yeah,
is no
sorry.
problem. No, it's no problem. Why do you keep saying you're not good with women, or you weren't good with women?
Like I said, I was just growing up. I had my buddies, right, and I didn't really know how to talk to women. I like I said, it wasn't that I didn't find them women attractive. I 100% have always found women attractive.
You just didn't know how to approach them.
I
Is
didn't.
that what you
Yeah,
mean?
I didn't know how to approach them and like actually, yeah,
Engage and
engage and all that. And
So
like
you
to
were
hold
nervous,
conversation.
maybe lacked confidence with women.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
mean, let's put it this way: me and my gal got together the first day, and her and I met. Like that was not a very smart decision of me because I knew nothing about her, and in the beginning of our relationship, the first 2 or 3 months before you moved over out of the apartments into, or was no, that was 4 or 5 months, right? 4 or 6 months. What was that? You lived over in the apartments.
I don't even remember.
The first 4 apartments or 4 months of her living in the apartments, she had a fling with this guy, and like I said, I didn't. The day me and her met is the day her and I got together, and it took a toll on our relationship in the very beginning, but it did get better.
I was gonna say that's on both of us though. We didn't know each other.
Yeah, but like just doing that, like making the decision, because I'm pretty sure I'm the one who engaged in like, hey, let's get together and just see what happens. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing, man. You sound like you're on a faith journey as well. And
yes, just bettering myself.
yeah,
And whatnot.
yeah, love that. Love that. Thanks for sharing. Sorry, I was
No, you're
so
welcome.
short with you at the beginning, but the one thing that bothers me is when
No.
people beg to come on here. So
No, and I do apologize. I really did not see your message. It's crazy that I saw the one message of the request up, but I didn't see the other one.
yeah, it's okay.
I do apologize. I will if I
It's okay, man. Thanks for sharing.
Thank
Yeah.
you for having me up.
Yeah. All right. See you, man.
Thank you.
All right. W's in the chat for that couple. Squirtle and Mrs. Squirtle. Is this the guy from the video? What video?
Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
All right. How you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks.
I like your topic tonight. I have a lot of experience in this particular field.
Oh yeah? Did
I'm
you watch a lot of porn?
Oh yeah. Age started for me. Let me just say this much. I started at age 11. Parents. My father is an admitted addict himself. Pornography. He lost his ability to achieve an erection in his early 40s. Apple didn't fall far from the tree because my mom and dad always had porn on in their bedroom, and they didn't realize young eyes would be able to be so inquisitive to find it. So it started, and I'm 56 today. I'm 6 years recovered from pornography abuse. I mean, abusing my body, abusing my mind. Lost an 18-year marriage due to my pornography use. Did it facilitate into, extramarital affairs or conversations with other women? I'm thankful that it did not. I definitely believe that pornography is cheating. It's not something, and that's my personal belief. When you hide it from your mate. That certainly would happen to make me believe that that it is cheating. If you can't be open and honest with your spouse or your relationship, it's certainly deceptive, and it's nothing that you're ever proud of. That you're addicted to pornography. It's something you tend to hide. You tend to isolate. You tend to keep make them. You almost wear a mask to make yourself seem like you're healthy in the relationship. So I've lost an 18-year marriage, and recently there was so much damage done in the beginning of my 8-year relationship that no matter how much work I did, I went to therapy and belonged to different groups of men that got together on a 3 times a week on a basis of 2 hours a night, and we'd all be open and honest with each other, and we talk about our addiction and where we're at in the process of recovery. And I'll tell you what, it's something that as soon as I saw this topic, I'm like, boy, can I ever relate? And I have something to offer. But my addiction was like a part-time job. I was on the road salesman, would justify my use and my actions because I wasn't cheating in my head. I mean, if you would ask me 6 years ago, was it cheating? I would say, well, heck no, it doesn't involve another person. But I hit it well from any mate I was ever with.
Yep. But a wise man once said, if you even look at a woman with lustful intent, you've committed adultery with her in your heart.
It's biblical. Absolutely. I've changed dramatically, though I'm a Catholic, cradle Catholic. You always was taught that you just go to confession, but hours later I would find myself back in the attic, and always chasing that dopamine. The sad thing is that for me, that chase of that dopamine, it was highs and lows. It was hours a day. When I was on the road, it was while I was driving the car. It was when I was going to the hotel room. How did it affect? What was the ripple effect like? My kids didn't get the dad they deserved, because when I'd come home on a Thursday, and I'd be home until Sunday, if I couldn't get my fix in the bathroom, I would find myself, using euphoric recall of the videos I had watched. And when I would sleep with my wife, she was simply an object, because I'd be able to recall those visuals in my head. So it was that, all that is cheating. There's no question about it. It's just something that it's robbed not just myself, but it's robbed my family. I'm blessed today that each one of my kids, I have 3 kids, that they've forgiven me. I've asked for forgiveness. The emotional maturity that I've gained in the last 6 years is tremendous, because the emotional intelligence, there's none. You develop even more skills of narcissistic traits, especially when you start at such a young age. And I'm blessed to be in the process of 6 years of sobriety to this day, but that I haven't lost my ability to be with a woman, and I've spent the last 11 months since the breakup not dating at all. That's very difficult for a guy who seeks affirmation. So yeah, this is a sensitive topic, but a topic that's very dear to my heart, because it's somewhere that, once an addict, they always say always an addict. It's an addictive personality. And I find myself that I would replace it with lifting weights again and get back in shape and this and that. But, I keep myself busy. It's
replace it with what again? What did you say?
Lifting weights, fishing,
got it.
hunting, things of that nature. Anything to keep myself busy. Idle time, as they say, is the devil's playground.
Devil's workshop. Yep.
You got it. And if I sit back in the confines of my apartment and I'm by myself, there's that addict always is knocking at the door. It's always in the back of your head that, well, I'm by myself. And you can, every addict's a great justifier, and you can always justify, why it's okay. And I just don't permit my mind to go there any longer. it's gotten a lot easier. Those first 90 days were the toughest, and then it's
Yeah.
just gotten progressively easier.
Yep.
But yeah, a very
Good for
very
you,
dear
man.
subject. I like what you got going here.
Appreciate
I'm
that, man.
definitely
Yeah.
I've subscribed to you.
Yeah, give me a follow. Yeah, man, and
Absolutely.
man, I can tell you've done a lot of work. You've done a lot of work around your whole story, and even what you shared about how you were exposed at a young age, and just how that is seared in your brain. Man, like you've been through a lot, and you've worked through a lot, and I can tell just the freedom that you have
Oh, I
is
have incredible
awesome.
freedom.
Yeah,
You just said something that was when you said seared into my brain. Only thing I can compare it to, I've watched so much pornography that I could have my eyes wide open. I could still see the visions, And so it kind of reminded my mom. My mom used to watch HBC. Some people, I'm older, so it's Home Shopping Network and QVC, and she had one of those big projection televisions, and she'd leave it on hours, and we're talking 12 and 14 hours a day, watching that stuff. And up in the right hand corner, if we turn to another channel, you'd still see that QVC or HSN up
yeah,
in the corner because it was on there. So, and that's how the mind works.
yeah.
It became embedded,
That's a good analogy.
and that's
Yeah,
exactly what porn did to me. So
yep,
again, it robs yourself, it robs your mate. If you have to lie about it, in my opinion, it's cheating. Um, I'm just, yeah. I think when I first started the recovery process, it was brought to my attention that if you took all four of the major sports, Major League Baseball, NFL, hockey, and basketball, and you took every ticket sold, every food item sold, everything that involves around sports, and you accumulated all the amount of money that's made, it still doesn't equivalent to how much porn is making in a typical year.
yep,
That's an epidemic. That's a
yeah,
problem. That's a
yeah,
real
for sure.
epidemic.
Yeah,
Women
and
can't live
those
it.
numbers came out like before OnlyFans was really big too. It's
Oh,
got to
yes,
be,
they did.
yeah. I mean, if you
And
include OnlyFans
that's
in that now,
mind
it's got to be
blowing.
crazy.
It's absolutely mind blowing.
Hmm.
So yeah, do yourselves a favor and look for that self awareness and where you're at and your use. My best suggestion is, you mentioned earlier, God has been He's been who I've turned to in all this. In
Hmm.
my faith walk, everything's just keep myself busy with pure thoughts. And yeah, so at age 56, I look back and a lot of life wasted, no question about it. But boy, I still hopefully have some decades left, and I'll make the best of it.
A lot of lessons learned and a lot of life to live, man. Love that.
Amen, brother. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing, man.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, see ya. W's in the chat for Frankie J. Give you a follow, man. Appreciate that. Marcy, do you want to come back up here? Like every guest we've had, you've said some gold nugget of a comment. I can see your head is still blowing up. Kalab Chapel, Austin. Yes. Hello. My name is Austin. I have a question. Sigma Brian. Okay, Sigma Brian. What's up?
So one of the things is when it comes to like the porn addiction and kind of like being in connections with other women and kind of that story about falling in love with three people, and do you believe in that? Maybe all the times that I've jerked off and let semen out, that kind of like how Bonnie Blue, when she went and had sex with over 1,000 men, it kind of makes her look like she's 40 years old. Do you think without me even having sex to that person that I'm meant to be with, could have the appearance of her look could have changed from that too?
I'm not understanding the question. Could your appearance be changed because of the amount of porn you've watched and the amount of times you've masturbated? Is that what you're asking?
I'm asking, say like I've had love from other people and gained love from other women, and that love that I gave to that other girl that gave back to me for me to love that next person, maybe in a friends group, and from all the times that I've jacked off and let sperm out in the sense of look how Bonnie Blue is from all the guys she had sex with. You know, she looks like she's 40, you know.
What's
And
wrong with
then
looking 40, bro? I'm 40.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in the
I'm just
aspects
kidding.
of what she does.
Yeah, I'm not
Because
following your
we're-
question. I don't follow your
what I'm
question.
saying is the story is like they say that the more sperm goes in a woman, you know, it kind of sticks with her, so it kind of makes her age faster, you know.
That sounds like cap. I read something.
It's kind of like the same thing if a girl if a girl swallows cum, you know, it could
Okay, all right,
cause.
bro. Are you capping right now, or are you serious?
No, I'm being serious.
All right. Well, yeah, you gotta tone it down a bit. I don't understand the question, so I don't know the answer to your question. And even if I did understand your question, I don't know the answer.
Okay.
So I don't know. But thanks for sharing again.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We'll see you. I watched something the other day that was talking about. It's the half-life isn't the right word. I don't know what the right technical or scientific word is, but there's basically the question that this person was asked was if one man was with a woman and then another man was with a woman, could the DNAs be crossed between the men? And the answer was essentially it doesn't live inside for any time that is meaningful. So, but consult your physician on that one. Okay. Do you still have knocking at the door this far in your sobriety? When you said that, it made me want to look at the door, be like, is somebody there? No, I have no desire to ever watch pornography ever again in my life. Ever. Ever again. Nope. No desire. I mean, you know, do I see things or, you know, accidentally go to a website or something like that? And the response is just like, no, like so much no. Now, am I immune to it? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I have no interest in pornography. It's like repulsive. In fact, it's just compassion because I have watched so many videos of former porn stars, male or female, and just what they've gone through. And I know that there's people out there that are like, oh yeah, people love the industry. That's fine. Give it time. Give it time. Kind of like we got Marcy Mack right before our eyes, having a change of heart. Just give it time. And then, so it's always, the answer is always having compassion. Having compassion. All right, I gotta go potty. I'll be right back. All right. Yes, I say potty because I have a 4-year-old. I know if I'm next in queue, said there was 2. Okay, I'll bring you on, Brooklyn. I wish that TikTok would keep people in order of when they request. Hey there, what's going on?
Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Hi, it's Brooklyn.
Hey, Brooklyn.
Hi.
Do I know you?
I'm nervous. You call me Taylor.
Called you Taylor.
I think so.
Did I? Well, either way, do I know you?
No, you don't, but
Oh.
I actually watched your content maybe a year ago. And so my previous relationships, they have not worked out because I have found, and honestly, I'm going to admit that I have a bad habit of trust, and I will look through someone's phone because I have a bad experience of people watching porn, and I personally don't believe in that, because I think that watching porn, you feel that need of instant gratification where you should have that need fulfilled in a relationship. That's what I believe, at least. So I have a current partner. His name's Derek, and when I first started dating
Is Derek
him,
there right now?
no, he's not actually. I probably wouldn't be doing this if he was here, just because of my truly honest opinions. And I have talked to him about it, and he has talked to me about it, but I don't know if I can share my full thoughts and emotions on it without anything
All right,
coming from it, if that
can
makes
we-
sense.
Yeah, can we talk about that real quick?
What do you mean?
That you're not sharing your full thoughts and emotions with your partner?
Yeah, so I don't know.
What
It's
are you,
really
what are you,
hard to
What are you afraid
explain.
of?
Okay, so before we get into that, can I just say a little bit of something?
Sure.
So when I first started dating Derek, he had a little bit of an issue. And again, I had trust issues, and I'm not going to say that this was right on my part, but I would kind of look through his phone and I would see stuff and I would kind of bring it up and be like, hey, what's this about? And he would be like, oh, no, it's nothing, like I apologize. And he has been better because I have told him to promise me if you have done anything, like just tell me about it. You know what I mean? I want that trust in our relationship. And I still kind of at the back of my head have those trust issues. So I have occasionally looked at his phone and he hasn't looked at anything. Trust me, I am kind of a stalker, so I know how to do that.
How do you know he just hasn't used incognito?
Because of screen time on my iPhone. I don't know if you know what that is, but
I'm not that old. I know what screen time is. I have children.
that's actually something I PSA to all the girls out there. Actually, if you do want to check if your man is watching porn on Safari incognito, check his screen time on Safari.
Actually,
'Cause
PSA, I would not recommend that. I would recommend just having the tough conversation.
You know what I mean, though. I
got it.
That's
I got it. But
that's what
okay.
I did in
Okay,
an early
I got it.
relationship.
Yeah. All right.
But we have had conversations since then, and I don't know. I just feel like if you watch porn, you are filling that instant gratification that doesn't need to be filled if you were in a relationship. And I feel like I've always had that problem because when I was a kid, there's been multiple times where like my dad has passed me his phone and said like, oh, look up something, or he showed me something funny and I went to go clear his phone, and like multiple occasions I would see a tab that was like a porn tab, and I didn't know what that meant until years later, and I was like, wow. And then my parents had split up since then, so I think I have a big issue with porn because in my head, like deeply rooted, it ruins relationships, and that is like a firm boundary of mine that no porn. I don't want to sound like I don't allow porn, because that's not how you should sound in a relationship. You should respect each other's boundaries without like having to enforce rules, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I don't want to.
I have a lot of thoughts on everything you're saying.
No, please,
but
please.
I get the essence of what you're saying. However, with regard to faithfully being committed to your partner,
Yeah.
Why not be really, really clear on that?
I know. It's sometimes I have a hard time communicating my true thoughts and feelings, and sometimes when I do, it comes across the wrong way.
All right. So what are you really wanting to communicate to your partner?
That I don't like porn, but it doesn't need the fact is that it doesn't need to be communicated anymore, I don't think.
Okay.
As far as I know.
Okay. You don't like porn. So what?
Yes.
What are you wanting to communicate to him?
That well, I don't like him watching it, and he knows that now.
Okay. Don't like him watching it. Okay.
Because
Those
I do
are-
think it's soft cheating. I do.
Okay. So those are great statements to say, but what are you wanting to ask him? What's the request you want to make of him?
Well, that's kind of complicated. I mean, I'm not gonna ask him.
Brooklyn. We're just getting somewhere. All right, there's an analogy, okay? We do this in some of our in-person workshops. If, say you live somewhere cold. Who lives somewhere cold? I don't. I live in Arizona. Who lives somewhere cold? Like New York or New England somewhere. Colorado, there you go, Jess. All right. Minnesota, Maryland, those are cold places. Alaska. By the way, it's cold in Phoenix. That's why I'm wearing a hoodie and sweatpants. Weather, Phoenix. Today, it was a high of 75. No, it was a high of 89 and a low of 64. It was cold today. It was cold. So I'm wearing a hoodie and sweatpants. Oh, you moved to Scottsdale. Nice. That's where I live. All right. So say it's cold. This is a lesson for everybody. All right. And by the way, I'm a coach. I do one-on-one coaching and group coaching for men dealing with unwanted sexual behavior and women dealing with betrayal trauma. I also do in-person trainings. We have one coming up in Boston in January. I haven't announced that yet, but we got a training coming up in Boston and then another one in Phoenix in April. You guys are going to hear me talking more about that. It's a mixed gender training. It is not a porn or sex event. It is for people who want to have a richer experience of life, for people who know that there's more available and you want to step into it. Anyways, we'll put that aside for now. Say it's cold out and the window's open and you're cold. How might you go about creating comfort for yourself? What are the possible ways you can go about creating comfort for yourself if you're in an environment where the window's open, it's cold outside, and there's a cold breeze? How could you go about creating comfort for yourself? You could say something like, man, it's sure cold in here. You could say, you could close the window yourself. Yeah. You could go grab a blanket. You could say, I wish somebody would shut the window. You could build a fire. So you could do it on your own, right? You could make gestures, just letting everybody know how cold you are. You could make wishes. I wish somebody would shut the door or shut the window, right? You can take matters into your own hands. Okay, these are all different ways, and we all do these in different ways, right? Or you could make a request. Will you please shut the window? Because imagine you're sitting on the couch and you're freezing cold and the wind is, or the breeze is blowing in, and you're sitting there saying, gosh, it's really cold in here. I wish somebody would turn the thermostat down a little bit. I wish somebody would close the window. Those are nice words and nice phrases to say, but they're not invoking anything to happen. So what I hear a lot when a betrayed partner, and who is it, Brooklyn? I'm not coming down on you, obviously, is when we're saying, I don't like porn, I hope you don't watch porn anymore. I wish you'd stop. That's all great, and that might be a little effective. But what about, will you please stop watching porn? I am requesting that you stop watching porn and you get help. That is so different than, I don't like that you watch porn. So that's where the hard conversation is. That's where the hard conversation is in actually making the request, because it's risky and vulnerable, because when we make requests, the answer could be no. Great question, Sinead. What happens when you do that and they don't stop? Yeah. Well, Tracy Mello, what if you told him to stop, but he won't? Well, people don't like being told what to do, right? If you ask them to stop and they don't, if you say, will you please stop, and they don't stop, then you could say, thank you for being honest. Thank you for being honest. Thank you for being honest and telling me that you actually don't care about my requests. And then you get to make a decision for yourself, because they have been truthful with you. And you get to make a decision, because you can never change another person. And when you realize that you can't change another person or a situation, you are forced to change yourself. So if you've asked them to stop and they won't, you don't have to, but you get to look inside, say, what am I really wanting? Thank you for being honest, because you've told me everything I need to know about you. And then you get to decide what to do. All right. I told so many comments. All right, a lot of people joining here. Welcome, everybody. My name is Austin Hamilton, also known as the Porn Coach. I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching, both for men dealing with unwanted sexual behavior, like pornography addiction or infidelity, as well as for women who are going through betrayal trauma. Let's talk about my groups for a second. So I lead groups on Tuesday nights and Wednesday afternoons. I have a women's group that is for women who have been who are going through betrayal, particularly with pornography addiction or another type of infidelity. We meet at 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday nights. And we also have, what does that mean? Warbro, take it easy, I'm in the unit. I have a women's group meet at 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday nights, and I have a men's group that meets at 10 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday nights, and an additional men's group at 3 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. I am still trying to get a women's group going for Wednesday morning. I haven't got that off the ground yet. I haven't been pushing it as much lately. But once we get 6 or 7 people, we'll get that group going. So if you're interested in joining a group to heal through what you're going through, you got to do it in community. Healing doesn't occur until it's witnessed empathetically. So schedule a call using the link in my bio if you want to chat. Be happy to talk about your situation privately and see if a group might be a fit for you. All right, be true to you. You have been waiting a while. Hey there, what's going on?
Hey, not much. Thank you so much for having me up. So, been enjoying the conversation and stories all evening. Yeah, do I think porn is cheating? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Got it.
Maybe
All right, let me
it's
stop
because,
you right there. Turning Point USA is your logo.
Yep.
Got it.
Oh,
Were you a Charlie Kirk fan?
Oh, diehard. Yes.
All right. What do you think Charlie
Love
Kirk would have said about pornography and whether it's cheating or not?
Yeah, well, he'd probably, no, I know he wouldn't agree with it, but like anything else, we can agree to disagree on certain subjects. Just because
Got
I'm
it.
for somebody doesn't mean I'm 100% for
I got it.
somebody.
I'm just curious.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty
Yeah,
bold
so,
thing to have a Turning
here's-
Point
here-
logo and then
Yeah.
say you don't think porn's
Yeah,
cheating. All
well,
right, tell us why.
I can make it any logo. Anyway, so going back to the topic of conversation, maybe it's because me and my husband got married as we were older. We got married when in our 30s, so we were done partying in our 20s, and we had our kind of life together in our 30s and had kids and everything. But like anything else, we sit and watch porn together. Yeah, because as we get older, especially women in
Hold
their
on real
40s.
quick. Hold on.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, what happened? Did you want to come back? I'll try to watch a comment. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we'll watch, porn together and stuff because it spices up our
Oh, her phone
our
died. Okay, got
sex.
it.
Just because, as women get older, especially in their 40s, and we lose our hormones, because they go out the window, you need something, and stuff because, the body goes through the changes, and if you know anything, we dry up down there. You need things. And, yeah,
If you're dried up, then if you're dried up, why would it work to use pornography?
Well, he needs needs. He needs needs, and
Hold on. What
if
did
you're
you
not
say?
using the
What did you say?
hey,
He needs needs?
he needs needs. Yeah, well, hey, go into the other room, play with the video with the
But hold on,
porn.
hold
I
on,
don't
hold
care.
on,
He
hold on.
comes home to my
You're
bed.
hold on. If it's dried up and there's no hormones, how
Yeah.
would you be able to masturbate?
Well, you can use lube. Yeah, we women can use lube, but we do dry up down there. End of story. As we get older.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
stuff.
Hold on a
Okay,
second.
and so
Jeez.
sex starts
Hold
to
on. Hold
hurt.
on. Time out. I wasn't thinking you literally meant dry up. I thought you were using
Yeah.
that figuratively as though
No, we dry
like
up. We dry up.
Okay.
Well, you're a sex coach. You should know this.
I got it. I misinterpreted
dry
your
up.
phrase. I didn't know that you were being literal with that.
Yeah, I'm a nurse.
I'm
I'm
sorry. I
literal.
missed. Okay, got it. Okay. All right. So are you still there?
And everything, and that's why sex hurts as we get older if you're not using lube.
Okay, so hold on.
There-
Let's just say that's true. And I won't
No, let's not say
hold
it
on.
is true.
Okay, hold
Let-
on.
use your words
If that's
correct.
true, I am using my words correctly. That's why I'm saying
No,
things
you're,
like
you're saying it's not, or you're I'm a nurse. I know these things. Okay, this is my career, with women's health.
so that's why I'm saying let's just say that's
Okay, thank
true.
you.
Let's just say that's
no,
true,
when you say,
meaning-
let's say, you're saying that but by you saying let's say that's true, you are not believing, or you're calling me a liar. So either it is true or
That's
it's
not true. If I
Huh?
didn't believe you, if I didn't believe you or I thought you were lying, I would say I don't believe you. I think you're lying.
But see, words matter.
Exactly. That's why I'm very careful with my words.
Okay.
So I'm not disagreeing with you or agreeing with you. I'm
But
saying let's say that's
shouldn't you
true,
know
and then
these
let's
things,
continue the
though?
conversation. All right, do you want to have a conversation or
yeah.
not?
So anyway, going back to the
Okay.
conversation.
So let's say that's true, okay?
Okay.
And let's say lube is the answer. Why would that
But
mean that
it-
pornography needs to be used?
Okay, so pornography, in my opinion, okay, because all of this is opinion based, everybody can have an opinion, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent. In my relationship, porn is not cheating. He has needs. Fine, go into the other room. I don't care. We watch it together, to spice up our relationship, because we have that one.
Yeah, but here
thing that-
you're hinging your argument on the drying up thing being the excuse for pornography. That's what I'm sticking to
I
here.
gotta go to
Right? And I'm not saying that's not true. She's gone. Whew. Okay. As much as you think he's frustrating you, you're frustrated. So many people requesting. Love it. All right, let's go. Let's go, chat. Keep me up till 1 a.m. if we need to. Let's go. I love TikTok Live, people. W's in the chat for all our guests. Whew.
Oh my gosh. Did it work?
Krista, yeah, you're on. Krista, that's hilarious what you just said. All right, yeah. Emmy Stock, what's going on? It's porn cheating.
Okay, yes, I think it is, but I also have a question for you, and I don't know, maybe this is not the appropriate place to ask, but I've been watching this for a little bit,
Okay.
and I'm curious. In the like dating phase, when do we need to have this discussion on like what our views are on about this? Like I'm
Before
in
you
my
before
30s.
you know their name, you got to talk about porn.
Seriously, like so is this like
Seriously.
pre-dates like
It's
on
like
the dating apps?
on the dating apps, what are your views on porn? And then
Are you
and then
serious?
it's, hey, I'm Emmy, nice to meet you.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm actually only slightly kidding. I think it should be discussed very early. Very early. What are our views on pornography? What are our views on monogamy? What are our views on sex? Is it going to be just me and you in this relationship? Or is it going to be me and you and dozens or hundreds or thousands of other people on the internet? Let's clear that up right now because I want to know. And if you want to do the whole thing with dozens or hundreds or thousands of people on the internet, totally fine, no problem. But then you get to decide what you do with that information.
And also, what if they lie too? I mean, anybody could.
They could. They could. That's why it's not just a one-time conversation.
Yeah.
Look, the odds, you said you're 30, what? How old?
35.
35. All right. I'm 40, and the odds of somebody who's around your age, give or take, that doesn't watch pornography is or hasn't had an issue with it is pretty low.
Right.
Okay. Now, the younger you get, the higher the exposure is, right? So for me, I was exposed to it pretty young, but we barely had the internet when I was a teenager. But now kids are given phones or iPads without any restrictions on them when they're like 2 years old. But that won't be your situation. So what are your views on pornography and with what you want to have in a relationship?
Well, for years and years, like high school and like probably 10 years past, I was very, very anti, like absolutely not. And I still definitely lean towards no. But a lot of people I've just casually talked to are so casual about it. And I'm like, I don't feel like that. But now, like in the past, I don't know how many few years, I really haven't dated all that much since like I started in July of this year. But it's like, how many people are super casual about it? And I haven't had any discussions like since I've been dating because I just haven't brought it up. But I just don't know. Now I'm rambling. And I've lost my train of thought.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I just got a notification that my door unlocked, but that's because I went to the bathroom 23 minutes ago.
Yeah.
All right. So
I'm anti. Like I would not want my partner really watching it. I'm not okay with that.
sorry, I just got a message. Well, I don't know anything about you, but the fact that you're asking that question probably means yes. And if you're
Probably
the person,
means yes.
I won't say somebody just DM me. I won't say it, but if you're the one that DM me, the answer is probably yes if you're asking that. Okay.
Ugh.
All right. Say it again.
I don't even know what I said at this point. I said I don't want my partner watching it.
And your memory span is worse than mine. I've met my match.
Oh my gosh. that's
Now
so
I forgot what
embarrassing.
you said. You don't care if your partner watches it? What'd you say?
No,
Gosh,
I
this is
don't
terrible.
want them to.
You don't want them to. All right, got it. You don't want
Yeah.
them to watch it. Why do you not want them to watch it?
Because I think it would be cheating.
Okay.
But
All
I
right.
feel like so many people don't feel like that.
Well, okay. And?
So do you continue to date someone with differing views than you? I guess not. No. 'Cause
Well,
you'll never agree.
yeah, I think there's certain things you can have differing views on. Clearly, no problem. I think that's actually really good and healthy. And I think there's certain things, like if one person has a view that we can cheat on each other and another person doesn't have that view, that's going to cause problems in the relationship. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah. So you sound like you want true monogamy, truly to just be committed to one another and one another only.
Yes.
Yeah. So that sounds like a great conversation to have early in the relationship. Because here's the thing. Pornography is not just about getting your rocks off, as some people call it. Pornography really comes down to how you view people. Do you view people as objects for your selfish sexual desire, or do you view people as fully dignified human beings who deserve dignity, honor, and respect?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people would just start masturbating when they see something in pornography, but they would probably never do that out in public. Oh, there's a hot chick. I need to start masturbating. That would never happen. Because when you put it on a screen, it like removes you. It makes you think of them not as a person. It would be so disrespectful and dishonoring to do that, to just start masturbating when you see someone attractive.
Yeah. Do you watch like sexually explicit shows with the person that you're dating?
Well, I'm married and I have 3 kids, so I don't watch shows or TV or movies.
Yeah, that makes
I don't have
sense.
time for
I
that.
guess just
Okay,
okay. I got you.
But
It's
we'll
just
just
so
say,
heavy, like in everything these days.
yeah, I mean, we'll just say, like, I watched a couple episodes of Game of Thrones before D-Day, like before Coming Clean with my wife. I wouldn't choose to watch that show.
Okay.
Like, no, that's porn, in my opinion.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
porn.
Well, you were very helpful. Thank you for having me on and listening and talking and answering questions.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Bye-bye. Finally, something relatable from this guy. Mattia, you've been in here for like hours, and finally something relatable. Thanks for sticking around. Did you ever have this problem? Yes, I watched pornography for about 20 years. I started when I was around 11, 12 years old, and only 10 minutes, Mattia. Okay, got it. I started watching porn when I was about 11 or 12 years old. I'm 40, so I had a computer in my room with unrestricted access to the internet in like the mid-90s. And I found porn, or porn found me, and I got hooked on it. And that persisted. I always said I'll stop when and that never ends. I said I'd stop when I graduate high school, or maybe when I get a girlfriend, or when I go to college, or when I graduate college, or maybe when I get a job, maybe when I get a serious girlfriend, maybe when I get engaged, maybe when I get married, maybe when I have kids. The day never came until my life fell apart. And my porn use escalated into physical cheating. Porn use always escalates. It always escalates into something else. I'm not saying it always escalates into physical cheating, but it always escalates into something else. Could be the frequency you watch it, what type of content you watch it, where you watch it, who you watch it with. Maybe whether it's questionably legal anymore. Maybe it does escalate into physical cheating, but porn use always escalates. For me, it escalated into physical cheating. Well, I was married. I'm still married to the same woman. We've been married for 14 years, which is crazy. 14 years. And we had, I like to say, the first marriage, it was like 6 years. That marriage wasn't very good, but not a good marriage. The last 8 years have been great. Much better. Great marriage. And now we actually can build a life that we love instead of one buried in hidden shame and addiction and deceit and lies and dishonesty. And it's much better this way, in my opinion. In my opinion. Because Snickers and strawberries, right? Snickers and strawberries. You might be like, what is this guy saying? All right, here's the thing. I'll bring another guest on in just a minute. I'm going to rant for a second. Imagine that you have a strawberry. Imagine you have a strawberry on a nice hot summer day. There's nothing better than a plump, juicy strawberry. You bite into it, it's just so good. Okay? Now imagine that you eat 5 Snickers bars. 5 Snickers bars. Imagine you eat 5 Snickers bars, and then you eat a strawberry. Guess what? The strawberry tastes like crap. Why is that? It's because the synthetic nature of the Snickers bar ruins your taste buds. It's not real food. It ruins your taste buds. And so when you have a strawberry after the Snickers bar, your mouth, it's like gross. What is this thing? It's all squishy and juicy, like, ugh. So in this analogy, the Snickers bar is pornography, and the strawberry is real intimacy with a human being. Really being intimate with somebody, to know them deeply. to explore your desires and have them explore their desires with you. And I'm not talking sexually, though that's included. True intimacy is really hard to build, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of hard conversations and a lot of great conversations. When you're eating Snickers bars, when you're watching pornography, your ability to have real, true intimacy is greatly hindered. So when you get rid of the Snickers bars and you get rid of the pornography, you can actually begin to have real intimacy. Now, the problem, or not the problem, it usually gets more painful before it gets less painful, because when you get rid of the maladaptive coping strategy, pornography, you actually have to deal with the stuff going on in your heart. You have to deal with your feelings. So Brene Brown, researcher, she's great. She talks about feelings, particularly shame. She talks about how you cannot selectively numb your emotions. You can't selectively numb your emotions. If you numb one, you numb them all. And pornography is a great way to numb your emotions, because typically people go to it because they're trying to escape some sort of pain, or maybe they're depressed or anxious or lonely or stressed. So like, oh, I'll just go masturbate real quick. That'll work, but it doesn't work. And then you're left typically feeling worse than before. And then you can't be intimate, and then one day you come and you're arguing with me about how great pornography is, and everybody watching is just like, well, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. But that's okay. I used to be like that too. Anyways, let's bring another guest on. Who's been waiting the longest? I don't even know now, because there's a decent queue. I'm just going to go from the top. It's not you girls, it's something they're having an issue with. Yeah, totally. So if you have been betrayed by somebody watching pornography, you didn't cause it, you don't deserve it, you can't do anything, or you didn't do anything that made that happen, and it is not a reflection of you. That's something that is so important when a betrayed partner, we'll say it's a woman in this case, is confronted with betrayal, is separating that out, that his behavior, his actions are not a reflection of me. And it's easier said than done, I got it. But separating that out, I didn't cause this. It's not because of how I look, how I don't look, what I did, what I didn't do. It is not a reflection of me. That will help you tremendously in your journey to heal through the betrayal. Next guest.
Hi.
Hey there, what's going on?
I've been watching you for a while. Like honestly, since February
For like 6 or 7
of
months?
this year, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent you to my now ex-boyfriend. He had been struggling with porn use for years and years and years. And initially, when we first got together, he kind of lied to me about it. Said he was no longer using, and then later I found out that he had never really stopped. And it really hurt me. It really affected like the way I saw myself. And even now, like we just recently separated, but I still, have a tough time looking at myself and my body in the mirror just because I don't look anything like the people he would watch online. And I don't know how to trust anybody else. I don't know how to even like consider being in another relationship. And I've, those Facebook groups like where women can ask men questions. I've asked before, do all men watch porn? Is it just something that you have to kind of deal with and pretend like it doesn't bother you? And I got like 80 responses telling me that I was crazy and that I was a psychopath for even questioning if men should or shouldn't do it because it's just accepted in our society so much. And like people told me that I needed mental help because I was bothered by it. And I don't think I'm crazy, but it just seems like our society has normalized something that is so bad for people, you know.
All right. Thank you for sharing. You're not crazy. You're not crazy. You didn't cause it. It's not a reflection of you. Now, unfortunately, you're totally right. Our culture, our society is so disillusioned with sex, with sexuality, with so many things, right? In my opinion, I'll say. And I just hear it in your voice. You have such a good desire for what I can imagine you're wanting in a relationship.
And I really do love him still, you know. And it got to a point where, you know, I was really struggling with it. And to a point where it just affected our day-to-day life. I would see him looking at other women, and I know how his brain works because I would see his, you know, Reddit history and all these things. Like, so you kind of understand how this person is looking at women, and I would just see him look at women, just staring at them, and he would tell me, "No, I'm not. You're crazy." And I just, it really, really started to affect me. And eventually, you know, he became physically violent with me. So I had to file a restraining order against him twice because he was physically abusive towards me. And it's hard because I still love this person. I'm still very attached to him, but I can't have any contact with him because I'm worried for my own safety. But I don't know what to do at this point. I don't know how to live in a society. I'm 22 years old, if that has any context for you. So I'm in a dating pool that is, God, it's like, it seems hopeless, if that makes any sense, you know? Like, the younger generation, like, I don't know. It's very hard to find genuine, real love. And not just people who want to use you or objectify you. Like, I want something real. Ever since I was a little girl, I just wanted to be somebody's wife and to have a family. And it doesn't seem like anybody really wants that in my generation. And I'm so sorry. I feel like a blubbering idiot for crying to strangers on the internet, but
You're doing great.
yeah,
You're doing great.
I've never really talked to anybody like this before. And yeah, it's just, I've been watching you for months and I haven't ever had the courage to come on and talk to you about it. But thank you for just letting me talk.
Thank you for sharing.
I don't know if you have any advice or anything that can help, but you know, it's, yeah.
Well, I don't give advice, or at least I try not to, but I can ask you questions. Just first of all, man, I hear it in your voice just how devastating this has been for you, and what you shared, what you went through. I mean, that's traumatizing. And there's a saying in the whole porn recovery and betrayal space: you're not crazy, you're traumatized. There's a great psychologist, Viktor Frankl. He said, an abnormal reaction to an abnormal situation is normal behavior. So there's nothing wrong with you or how you're responding to this.
And I, you know, like I said, I've sent him your page and things like that, and he kind of just brushed it off like, oh, that's just a guy trying to make money and all this stuff. And I'm like, no, you should really go on his lives. He really wants to help people. And I really did try with him. You know, it wasn't something where I was trying to be forceful. I was genuinely trying to understand the situation, and he would laugh at me when I would bring it up and tell me that it wasn't cheating and that I was just insecure and that I needed to, you know, basically fix that within myself, and then my feelings about his porn use would go away.
Yeah. How long were you guys together again?
2 years. So,
Okay.
you know, for a while, I would say. I know I'm still young, but I've never been in a relationship that long. And I've never been that close to somebody either. And it's hard because you hold these aspects that were good in the relationship, you know, the things that were beautiful. But then there's the whole other aspect of the hurt and abuse and manipulation. And it's hard to hold both of those realities. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And for a while, I was kind of just lying to myself, pretending that it didn't hurt me, pretending that it was fine. And eventually, I just broke down, you know, because I did initially tell him, you know, this hurts me. I was very clear at the beginning of the relationship. I don't date people who watch porn. It's just not. I just don't feel comfortable with it. And I know it's really normalized in our society, but it's just not for me. And he reassured me that, oh, I don't watch it. You know, I don't do that. I know that's cheating. That's a boundary crossing. And then come to find out, he had kind of been just doing it the whole time. You know, things got physical with someone, like he went to a strip club and then, you know, got a lap dance, and he told me that wasn't cheating. And, you know, I'm like in this headspace where it's like, I don't know what my own reality is, if that makes any sense, where I don't know what is true anymore. Like, if I'm just being crazy or if the things he did to me are really wrong, because to me it is wrong. Yeah, it's just tough. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Well, say it again. You're not crazy. You're not crazy. And that's, if you've watched my content, you might have heard me talk about the book, The Betrayal Bind by Michelle Mays. In that first phase of betrayal, the devastation phase, it's like, what's real? What's not real? It's so hard to discern with all the things that you were finding out. So again, unfortunately, that's part of the betrayal healing process.
Right.
How long has it been since you've been separated?
So I was living in Hawaii with him, actually. And I, you know, after he started hurting me, someone saw it. It was in a public place, and, you know, we had to be separated. You know, the police took him away. And my parents thought it was best for me to just come home for a bit, because he's one of those people that is very, very persistent. Like, he will just call me until I answer. He'll show up at my house and knock on my door until I open it. He's one of those people that you cannot get away from unless you physically separate yourself in every way possible. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for a while, I thought that was love. You know, that must be because he loves me. But now I'm thinking that it's not. It's more so was he wanted something to control. You know?
Yeah. I have so many questions. And I know you said you've watched me for a while, and I commend your courage to come up here and and share this. What are you hoping for in this next season of your life?
I'm just hoping to have some healing. You know, I've been nurturing my relationship with God again. I'm not trying to get religious or anything, but that's the only thing that's helped me. I want to get rid of these feelings of just worthlessness, and I know this maybe it seems like it's over exaggerating, but for me, it has created a deep pit inside me of like feeling suicidal. Like I don't want to be here anymore because of, well, especially when I was in a relationship with him, because, you know, I would be sleeping in bed next to him and he would be doing that. Or there was a situation where he was showing me to other people online without my consent and then getting off with other people who weren't me while I was in bed next to him asleep. So I have like, I don't know how to break these trust issues and these things, and I don't want to bring this into another relationship. So I'm just praying that I have some kind of revelation or healing in some kind of way that will allow me to trust someone else again, you know, because I don't want to have this aching feeling inside me in every relationship that I'm in. You know, I want to be in something healthy and strong with someone who doesn't have those issues. And maybe that's a crazy ask. It seems like from what other people are telling me that's too much to ask for men of these days. I don't know, but you give me hope and thank you, you know?
Well, there's a lot of good men out there, and like you said, your age demographic is not doing itself any favors. I have to say, just based on what you shared, to call the hotline, get help if you need it. If you haven't already, seek professional help. Okay, in your local area, if you can. Okay, you understand me?
Absolutely. Yes, I'm, you know, talking to a therapist and trying to work through those things.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I just don't know how to deal with the feeling of still loving him.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh at that, but she got banned. A guest in your life has violated our blank policy. Well, I'm glad she's getting help. That's crazy. Oh, you're still here. Okay. All right. Well, she said the S word. That's... I don't even know if you can request again. So thank you for sharing. Man, I feel that. My encouragement to you would be, no, you're fine, would be continue talking about this. Continue talking about what has occurred for you and your story, which it sounds like you're doing already, in the appropriate context. Okay? And there's so much underneath everything you shared. The origin story of betrayal for you, of the feelings of worthlessness, of thinking that you don't measure up, and ask yourself the question, why? Why has this relationship had all of those bubble up? And there's so much more there, but I'd recommend the book, The Betrayal Bind, as well. For anybody who has been betrayed, this is not a woman's experience. This is anybody who has been betrayed. The book, The Betrayal Bind, is a fantastic book to navigate through that. I have a women's group that meets on Tuesday nights and Wednesday morning. Soon there will be a Wednesday morning group, and we largely follow the concepts from this book. If you're interested in joining one of my women's healing groups for betrayed partners. It's led by myself and other female contributors. You can schedule a call with me using the link in my bio. And that's a private call where we can talk about your situation and if our community may be able to help. I also have a couple of men's groups for men who are struggling with unwanted sexual behavior, such as porn or sex addiction and betrayal trauma. And the books that we use for those, or the material largely comes from these books. Unwanted by Jay Stringer, how sexual brokenness reveals our way to healing, as well as Help Her Heal, a great workbook to essentially build empathy in men. Well, in betrayers. But oftentimes it's men, especially with pornography. I gotta go potty again. I'll BRB. Sadie, I'll bring you up next, okay? You've been patiently waiting. All right, chat. I have a confession to make. I wear Crocs. Very large Crocs. Size 15 Crocs, actually. I've been wearing them pretty much every day for 2 or 3 months, and my heels are cracking. TMI, I know. But I got this cream. It's for like elephant skin or something like that. And I put it on my heel and it feels much better only a couple hours later. So that's my confession. All right. That's the unpopular opinion of the day. I wear Crocs. Crocs are great. See, the great thing with Crocs is you can wear them to the gym. You can wear them when you're TikToking. You can wear them to church. You can wear them to a nice dinner. You know, you could wear them to a funeral or a wedding. Crocs are the universal shoe. That's the unpopular opinion of the day. I wear my Crocs to the gym every day. Well, every day that I go to the gym. And my trainer, he always posts videos of me, and he always, like, say I'm doing bench press or something, he'll start zoomed in on my Crocs, and then he'll pan up to me actually lifting, and then he posts it on Instagram, and all my friends make fun of me. But I don't care, because Crocs are awesome. All right, Sadie, how's it going?
Hi, good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you. Are you 18 or over?
I'm 22.
Okay. All right, what's going on?
So, a little bit of backstory. Me and my husband just celebrated our 2-year anniversary. And we've had some issues in the past with
Did you say husband?
husband. Yes, husband.
Okay.
We've been married. Yep.
All right.
And we have a son. He's about to celebrate his first birthday. And let's see, a week ago, I found out that he went to a strip club on our anniversary, and we've had issues with pornography in the past. And
He went to a strip club on your anniversary?
our wedding anniversary, yeah.
The first one or the second one?
Second one. First anniversary, I was pregnant.
Okay. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so obviously we've got a little one involved, and I really do love him more than anything else. But there has been a series of betrayals. Granted, he's never been physical with another woman. He's never officially had an affair or anything like that. But I want this family to work for myself and my son. And so I want to know what steps I need to take to start forgiving him, because I'm at like -0 trust. Like, instead of me having a base level of trust for him, it's instant suspicion. And I don't know what to do.
Is he repentant?
Yes, we both have been very involved with our church, and I was baptized in 2023. I've been a Jesus follower or a Christian family my whole life, but I was born again and found Jesus for myself about 2 years ago. And I would say 3 or 4 years ago was about the same for him. We've been together about 4 years. And he is, I can tell, he is sorrowful. He is guilty. Like he feels shame. I can tell. But the issue is it keeps happening. Every time I can feel the guilt coming off of him. And I can tell that he feels shame for what he's done, but it doesn't stop. It's not necessarily escalating in a huge way. The most major thing has ever been a strip club and nothing ever happened, but it just, my trust issues are struggling. This is my
Well,
husband, the
that's
father of my
that's
child.
yeah, I got it. That's a pretty big escalation, though. A strip
Right,
club on your anniversary.
right. I will say, I'm not defending him by any means. He is out of town usually Monday through Friday for work. This is the first time he's done that in a year of him being gone. And I have his location, I have all that stuff.
Hmm.
So I know it is.
Yeah.
So he's been, I don't want to say good, because obviously what he did wasn't good. But he's been working real hard for a long time and nothing's ever happened.
Okay. So you're asking, how do you forgive him?
How do I move forward without holding this resentment towards him? Because I felt like I know how to forgive him. I've forgiven him multiple times for little discrepancies, but this time feels a little bit bigger. And there's a baby involved this time, and it really hurts my heart more than the other times.
Yeah.
I don't know what steps to take
Hmm.
to forgive him, because I've done it before, and every time it's, I love you, I'll do better, and he does, but it fizzles out in a few months.
Hmm. Is he getting, or has he gotten help for his pornography addiction?
So he had someone, his dad kept him accountable for a few years when he was younger and had some issues. And then when he started getting more serious with girlfriends, and then he started dating me, his partners became his accountability partner. You know what I mean? Like he gave me full access, check his phone to make sure, like if he was doing something, he wanted me to catch it, like in that sort of sense. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it sounds
But
like he's got about a decade of doing something that doesn't work.
right, right. It's always the same, like 4 excuses. It's I'm tired, I'm depressed, work is stressing me out, and I understand all of that because I have the same issues, but it's I don't take actions to hurt my spouse and my family because of those things.
Hmm.
And so I'm really struggling with forgiveness, even though this is what I want. Like I've sat down and had the conversation with
Well,
myself, had the conversation with Jesus. Like I want my husband, I want this family,
yeah.
but my heart hurts.
I got that. Why wouldn't you struggle with forgiveness? Because the behavior essentially hasn't changed. So you're trying to forgive something that's continuously happening.
Right. And I guess my issue is that every time we've had a problem like this, it's been a different thing. So yes, it's all been in some sort infidelity. It's been pornography of some kind, or this is the first time it's been a strip club, but it's been a different thing each time. Like the first time it was like incognito Safari, and then it was Telegram, and then it was like Reddit, and now it was a strip. It's like different rules are applying every time this happens.
Okay, so you're describing escalations.
Okay.
That's what I'm hearing, right? Who else in his life knows that he struggles with pornography?
I mean, I don't think anyone really in his immediate circle does. I feel the only people really I feel like our shared lives who knows would be my sister, but he was adopted, so he's not close with his parents because he was adopted. He was a little bit older, and it just caused some issues. And my dad's in jail, and my mom's passed away.
Oh gosh.
So there's not a huge support system here, and so
Yeah.
I'd say the only person who really knows is my sister. But there's also a lot of backstory.
Yep.
So there's not really anyone from his side who knows what he's going through. But I mean, he is close with my sister. They are close. He is closer with my sister than he is with his own sister. So she knows, and he also knows that she knows. Like, I've told him that I've spoken with her about his issues for comfort.
Mhm.
He's aware that she understands the issues in the relationship, but
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
it
So
goes away.
is he there? Can we get him on?
No, he's actually not here. He's away.
Oh, that's right. You said he's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. All right. Well, there's a story for him, certainly, of pornography use and how that started and his behavior and all that. But I'm not talking to him. I'm talking to you. It sounds like he hasn't actually embraced a program of recovery, right? Like, no, essentially nobody knows. His partners have known because they've been the de facto accountability partner, which hasn't worked. His dad or foster dad knew and kind of tried to help him with it, but he hasn't really done anything to work on this, is what I'm hearing. Right?
In some senses, yes, but then I also know there was a period of time where we were monitoring. I know the default accountability partner being your actual partner is an issue, but
Yeah.
I know there was a solid year where he was very faithful, and that's why it causes me issues, because I know he can be when he wants to be, but it doesn't last. That's why it's so troublesome, because he has been good. He can control himself, but he goes through these periods where he's, I hate to say not himself because it seems like an excuse, but he doesn't act like himself.
Have you guys done counseling or anything?
We've the church we go to offers some counseling, but there's a lot of intricacies that can affect that. Like, I have previous sexual abuse history from my parents and stuff like that. So it bleeds into each other. It's like whenever those things happen, it triggers me, and those triggers trigger him,
Yeah. Well, it's all connected. It's all connected, right? Like, and I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you for sharing that. To truly, in my estimation, it sounds like you're trying to just like manage the porn. He's looking at porn. I want him to stop looking at porn. The true path to healing here, or I should say the sustainable path to healing, is to deep dive in both of your own stories with curiosity, and then, or simultaneously, look at how those stories are coming together and colliding with one another. Because you're exactly right. You have trauma, he has trauma, everybody's got trauma, and now we're trying to just like, put a Band-Aid on it and say, let's stop the porn. Which is good. I'm all for stopping porn, obviously. Does that make sense?
It does. I really want to work through this, and I'm just having a hard time moving past this one, because it was on anniversary, it was our wedding night.
Totally.
We were away from each other.
Yeah. Have you done work around your story?
Yeah, I was in counseling for 2.5 or 3 years right after I got out of everything that was happening to me, and I sought resources from a therapist appointed by the court and a therapist appointed by my university. So I took some medications for a little while, but I really felt like it did more harm than good. So I've been trying to work through my issues, and I really do. This might be just me being optimistic or egocentric, as people tend to be towards themselves, but I feel like I have done a lot of work on myself. I used to be a lot more broken down and self-conscious, and really I mean, at the end of, like, I really contemplated what I was here for. But then, like, I found this love and this beautiful purpose. But the problem is that, like, he's also causing me the pain again. And it's like, it's really difficult for me to deal with, because in the same sense that this man brought my life back to me, he also brought death, you know? And I don't know, I want to forgive, and like, that's like my heart issue, is that my heart desperately wants to forgive him, but my head knows that he's betrayed me multiple times. So like, I'm recognizing this pattern, and my brain's like, hold up, red flag, but my heart is so soft, I don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the betrayal bind. Right? It's like, I love him, can't stand him. I love her, can't stand her. And you're just trying to raise a kid and be with your husband, have a family. Don't underestimate your ability to take agency for yourself and your life and make empowered decisions about what happens for you.
I'm just scared, I guess, of what'll happen if I depend on myself. Like, I've always been able to pick myself up. I've always, at the end of the day, I've always been able to support myself, maintain a home for myself. Like, I had my own place before I was married. Like, I've been okay, but I'm scared.
Yeah. Scared of what?
Not having anyone to rely on, I guess, in case I'm not good enough. But if I'm not enough to keep a home and a family for my son, and then I actually realized that one day I need to have him, but he's hurt me. What do I do? Like, it's really hard for me. And I don't want to deny my child either, like, the ability to see his father every day. Like, I would have killed for a loving father every day of my life. And he is a great dad, is the other part. He's a great dad. He loves his son. He loves being a father. It's really hard. I just don't know, because I want to forgive him, but my heart has a hard time. I don't know what I need to do to make this better, because that's what I want to do. I want to repair the relationship. I want to stay married.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like God wants from me. I've had multiple conversations, like in my Bible, when I'm driving alone talking to Jesus, I'm like, tell me what you want. It's like, it always comes back to him. I know this is what I should do, is what's the best choice, but I don't know how to do it.
Yeah. All right. So I think you do know how to do it. And what if instead of trying to find the best choice, which is good and fine, what if it's just, what is the next choice I need to make? What is the next choice to make? And look, you are experiencing something that is very common. And when I say that, I mean, you're having issues in your relationship. Welcome to every relationship ever. Okay?
I don't mean to laugh.
No, you should laugh. And I got that from this book. I love that you're laughing. You got it. You nailed it. I got that from this book called Intimacy and Desire by a guy named Dr. David Schnarch. Love that name. And he basically, he's a sex therapist. He wrote all the books on it that a lot of people draw from. And he basically was, people think sex is the issue. Oh, well, she wants sex more. He wants sex more. He never wants it. She always wants it. He doesn't want it. These arguments about sex. And you know what he said? Guess what he said? He said, welcome to every relationship ever. This is normal. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So it's kind of like a good news, bad news.
Okay.
All right. Being in a relationship is hard. Being married is hard. Being married with betrayal is hard. Having kids is hard. And it's wonderful. Two things can be true. Okay. All of these things are common experiences that people in relationships have. And by the way, I'm not trying to make it sound like, oh, this is no problem. What I'm saying is this is overcomable. Your desire for what you want, I would just say, is really good. And you guys, like, dude, 22 years old, you guys got a kid? Like, that's hard in 2025.
I mean, and two is like at the same time, like I feel like we're very blessed. Like we own our own house, we own land, like I feel like we're blessed too as a couple, and to be having these struggles, I feel like I see the issues that's happening to my generation. Like they can't afford housing, they can't find a spouse, and it's like I feel very lucky to have a spouse, to have a house.
Totally. Where do you live? Alabama or something like that?
Texas.
Just kidding. Texas. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, Texas.
So,
But
yeah, look, he, behind every man struggling with pornography is a story that's dying to be told. There's something in his story that got him to that point, that got him in this relationship to where he's not fully being honest. He's stuck. He doesn't know what to do. Only a couple people know. Like, again, that sucks. I got so much compassion for that. Excuse me. And so you guys, I mean, get some help, get some counseling, read the books, build the marriage that you want to build, but it has to be built on trust. It has to be built on trust. And you seem like you're really willing to do whatever it takes, which is awesome. I don't know about him. I've never talked to him. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So
Yep.
where's the water?
and see I feel like, and this might be a little spiritual. I haven't watched you for very long, but I also feel like maybe some of the issues that we're unequally yoked. Like I feel an intense desire to be close to Jesus, and I feel like he does too, but it ebbs and flows according to how his life is going.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas I feel like when I'm in my darkest parts of life, it's the strongest. And I feel like when he struggles, he turns to worldly things, which might be more spiritual, like might not be everyone's cup of tea, but this is just my experience, and it's difficult to navigate because I'm not trying to convict him, but I want him to be aware, you know?
Yeah. Well, and that's a really hard line to walk, right? Because you're wanting something more. You're wanting something better the way that you have got it oriented. And you're wanting that for both of you. And actually, I don't think there's a problem with that, with one partner in a relationship bringing the other partner up when they're down. In fact, that's like part of the whole point of being in a relationship. You know, it's like when you or your partner's like, "Hey, does this shirt look good on me?" And you're honest and you're like, "Actually, no." That's love. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. That might be a bad analogy, but you get the point.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So what are you going to do?
I want to repair it. Like, I want to make it better, but I don't know how to trust him anymore. Like, I know I need to offer that trust in order to give it a chance to build, but I feel so betrayed. I feel like if I give that vulnerability of myself away to him again, it's just going to damage me more. Like, I feel like I'm stuck in that
Yeah.
pit.
All right. Yeah. All right. So trust is not earned. It's bestowed. We bestow trust. We choose to trust. We always get to choose whether we trust or not. There's three types of trust. Simple trust, which is the trust of a child, the trust of an infant. They have no choice but to trust that somebody will care for them. It's unconscious. Okay? Nobody lives in that stage of trust past those infant stages. Second type of trust is blind trust, which most people operate in most of the time. Blind trust is the trust that essentially says, I trust that everybody's going to act in my best interest. And when they don't, I'm going to be mad about it. Or I'm going to be surprised by it. Okay? Then there's authentic or mature trust. Authentic, mature trust is the trust that says, I know that you're going to let me down, that you're going to betray me in some capacity. And I'm going to choose to trust you anyways. Now, I'm not saying if you've been betrayed, you're like, oh, just trust him anyways. No, that's not what I'm saying. Authentic, mature trust would say, I know the areas I can trust you, and I know the areas that I got to be wary. Right?
Right.
Like, I can trust that when my wife says she's going to pick up the kids, she will do it on time. You know what I can't trust my wife for?
Paying the mortgage.
Yeah, she's actually not bad at that. I can't trust her to know where her phone is. Like,
Oh,
ever.
yeah, that's
Ever.
me.
I can't trust her to respond to a text message in a timely manner.
Yeah.
Now, I used to get all bent out of shape about it. Why aren't you replying to me? Like, you should have your phone, blah, blah, blah. And then I finally, if I were to try to trust that she would respond to me in a timely manner, that would be crazy. One time, I'm not making this up, one time, I found my wife's phone in the middle of the street. And I asked her, I'm like, hey, I found your phone in the middle of the street. How did it get there? And she was like, I don't know. Okay. So that's what I'm dealing with, right? Now, you get the point, right? So trust, you want to trust so bad. But, you know, and I don't know your whole story. I don't know what he's done, right? But would it be wise to trust somebody who's using pornography all the time, to trust that when they have their phone alone in the bathroom or whatever, that they're not looking at porn? No. What we know about pornography and pornography addiction, the brain science suggests it's a 2 to 5 year process to rewire the brain back to normal. When you start doing intentional work to heal a pornography addiction, would it make sense to trust somebody the day after? They're like, hey, I don't watch porn anymore. It's all fine. No.
Right. I guess that's maybe also part of the problem is that this has been like a multiple year long thing. Like it started out with just porn. And it was if you ever fail, if you ever, fall into temptation, just let me know. And I won't look at your phone. I won't ask you what you did. Just tell me that you fell into temptation and that you're trying to do better. But that's never happened.
Yeah. So that's not even, that won't work. It just won't work. You already know that. He's been trying that for like 10 years. It won't work.
Right.
So he's got to do something different if he wants change. But I don't know that he wants change, right? I'm not talking to him. I'm talking to you. So, all right. I'm going to go to bed soon. And my ears are sweaty because my air conditioner's not on for some reason. So where are you at? What are you thinking?
I really love him and I want to trust him. I just don't know what to do to take the steps to repair.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yes, you do. If you knew the steps to repair, what would the next step be?
Let go, wait for another mistake and handle it when that happens.
Really? That's what you've been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the conversation you're in, is let go, like pretend like it's not there, wait for a mistake to happen and deal with it. That's the pattern you're in. You got to change the conversation. Conversations produce action. The same conversations produce the same action. New conversations produce new action. It's time to have a new conversation. With yourself, with him. So,
I mean,
think
does that
about,
mean that I talk about separating or?
well, I don't know. I don't know what's right for you, but I would, if I would give you any suggestion or advice, is find a good counselor, good therapist, good coach who can walk you through what you're going through. And create open conversation between the two of you. I mean, it's the most healing thing, and I see it all the time with men that I work with. When they can actually talk about what's beneath the surface of their pornography use and not feel shamed or judged, everything changes for them. Now you can get somewhere. But again, I'm not talking to him, I'm talking to you.
Right.
And same with somebody who's been betrayed, is when you can learn to step into your power and your agency, everything can change for you, because then you can start saying what you actually want to say. So, thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing, Sadie.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you.
All right, take care. All right. All right. 222 wants to share some wisdom. And 222 has said that they've wanted to share wisdom for like 30 minutes now. What's your wisdom? You're not even requesting. I'm going to go to bed. I don't know that I'm going to take another guest on. But I have to take 222 because I love the phrase, I have to share some wisdom. We'll see what the wisdom is. Two. I don't hear any wisdom. This is true wisdom. Yeah. Most wisdom comes from people who say things like, I have some wisdom to share. No 222. All right, great being with you all tonight. Links in my bio if you want to schedule a private call, talk about your situation. If you want to heal from betrayal trauma, I have a group for women who meet on Tuesday nights, Wednesday afternoon, or Wednesday mornings. And I have groups for men dealing with porn or sex addiction. If you want to stop watching porn, love to chat with you. If you want to stop thinking you're crazy because you've been betrayed, I'd love to chat with you. There's always hope for you. There is always hope. There's always hope. There's always hope for you. Always, 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 there's always hope. And just when you think there's no more hope, guess what? There's always hope. There's more hope. Hope, hope, hope. Hopety, hope, hope. Great being with you guys. We'll see you next time. Give me a follow if you don't follow me already, if you like my content. If you don't like my content, follow me anyways. Because you never know what you're going to get here on the Porn Coach Show. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.